2020.
Hindsight.
Heinz. Get it? Heinz.
That's, of course, if you buy name brand ketchup. If not, then joke makes no sense.
I love these people who buy the off-brand and then put them in their own container.
Absolutely.
I do that all the time.
I would expect nothing less. I mean, right? Why not?
I put the off-brand mayonnaise and I put it in a Hellman's jar.
And no one can tell the difference.
Actually, you can tell the slight difference.
Do you do off-brand?
I've been doing it more and more now that prices are $17 for a tube of mayonnaise. Yeah. You know what? It's funny. Butter. Why would you? God love Land O'Lakes, but why would you buy Land O'Lakes when you can buy the off-brand? It's butter.
Yeah, but Kerrygold. It's the gold standard. Why would you buy anything other than Kerrygold?
Kerrygold is a name brand, but that is different. That's.
But it's the king of butters.
I know people who put Kerrygold in their coffee.
Yeah, I mean, people don't mess around when it comes.
I have Kerrygold in my house right now. Don't get me wrong. But it is Irish butter, and that's a little different than American butter. And when you're, oftentimes when you're having butter or you need butter, I don't use Kerrygold for cooking and stuff like that. Whatever.
What do you use it for?
Oh, like bread, put it on bread.
Because Kerrygold's what
Irish
puts
bread?
my cookies to the next level. I used the good butter.
Oh,
right?
interesting.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. It's a thing.
Oh, interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'll start doing that when I want to. Interesting. Mm-hmm. You know when I make those Betty Crocker cookies in the little bag.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Those are fantastic.
Do you actually bake it? Because sometimes I don't even get to the baking part. It's just. I mean, it's so easy. It's like mix in a bag, right? And you just add what.
You mean like eat the dough?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, Emerson likes to eat the dough.
Yeah, you're not supposed to, but.
Yeah. Apparently that's because of the egg, right? The raw egg. You're not supposed to eat raw eggs.
And I didn't know this. Flour, like when you're always supposed to. There's thing in flour, like bake it first or cook it or whatever if you're going to eat edible. Like when they make edible cookie dough recipes that include flour, they'll always tell you to cook it first for a minute or something. So I didn't know that, I guess, eating raw
Well, in a lot of cooking,
flour?
When you make the roux, they want you to sort of, burn off the flour taste or something or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, mix it with the butter or something.
Right.
Yeah, interesting. All right. Good to know. But butter, right? Sometimes Land O'Lakes is $7 and the off-brand is $3.
Yeah.
Why would you buy? Doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. So I comparison shop.
Right. Well,
I price shop.
even when Land O'Lakes is on sale, it's still more expensive than
Every
off-brand.
once in a while, you'll find Land O'Lakes a little bit cheaper than the store brand. So then you'll buy the Land O'Lakes. Yeah. But you don't think they know this when they sell butter? They know exactly when to raise the price. They know exactly when to lower the price. These people are not stupid. So I don't feel like I'm, I feel bad for the assistant general manager at Land O'Lakes who's going to feed his kids today. They're doing just fine. Stephen Portnoy is going to be joining us. Howard Lutnick testifies about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein after saying that he would never, ever be in the same room with that man. He went to go visit him on his island with his kids. You people come down on me because I give the wrong time. Karen Travers is going to be here. We're waiting patiently for Iran to decide whether or not they're going to accept some type of deal to have a deal. Karen Travers got that at 6:50. Jim Ryan's going to be joining us. There is a superbug invading the U.S., needle ants. You got to start worrying about needle ants now.
It's not in Missouri yet.
It's coming. Needle ants. Brad Garrett's going to be joining us. There's some interesting stories coming up about the World Cup, and one of them is security. The other one is hotels. We'll get to that here in a bit, but Brad Garrett's got the story about the staggering security plan that is being put in place for this summer's World Cup. We've got the president of Catholic Charities coming in. Antonio French is going to join us. Frank Cusimano is going to check in. And then the Only Facial. Here comes the Only Facial. It's Mother's Day on Sunday. What are you doing for Mom? Might not be a bad idea to get a gift certificate to the Only Facial. So we'll do all of that coming up. And then, of course, phone calls in the 9 o'clock hour. A couple of weeks ago, Josh, who's helping me out with the late night show, came to me and said, hey, you wouldn't want to talk about this book, about this guy who wrote a book about Johnny Appleseed, would you? So I said, oh, absolutely. I would love to talk about Johnny Appleseed. So he goes, you're kidding me. I go, no, I'm serious. So about a month or so ago, we put on the schedule this book about Johnny Appleseed. And Connor and Josh have been giving me grief ever since about, oh, you getting ready for that Johnny Appleseed interview? Oh, how about that Johnny Appleseed interview? Oh, how about that Johnny Appleseed interview? So then yesterday, Connor's like, you all set for that Johnny Appleseed interview? We had the Johnny Appleseed interview last night. It was fantastic. This guy, what a storyteller. What a late night storyteller. And the man walked the path of Johnny Appleseed and, among other things, went to go visit the last known standing tree of Johnny Appleseed. Somewhere in Ohio, there's a woman who owns a house, and that tree is the last known tree planted by Johnny Appleseed. And this man was a real guy, and he spent his life walking across America planting apple seeds.
Do apple trees have a long, because I know some trees are like,
yeah, it's like 178
right?
years old,
right?
this apple tree.
And that's the only one left?
And it's still bearing fruit, yeah. And it wasn't just because he liked apples, but he was turning the apples into hard cider. And because back in the early 1800s, it wasn't like you had the beautiful water you have in Flint now, right? you actually didn't really have running water, and so instead of having water, you would use alcohol because it was healthier because it didn't have any, right? It didn't have any
Alcohol killed the germs.
Yeah, exactly. So he went around the country planting apple trees to make hard apple cider. So no wonder everybody loved the man who was bringing alcohol to the town.
Wait, they use alcohol for hydration as opposed to...
Yeah. I mean, back in the old... That's how beer came around. Back in the old, Egyptian years, they learned how to make beer because they didn't have any running water, because the water wasn't,
And were they aware?
wasn't safe to drink.
When did it come when they were aware of the effects of alcohol? You know what I mean? They were just drinking and like, why am I seeing stars?
So
or like, why is everything spinning? Or why am I puking the next morning?
The man would go from town to town, and people would keep the light on, and they would build sheds for the man, and he walked. He was a walker, and he walked the walk, and he just spent his time
making cider,
spreading the gift of apple trees. And this guy walked the trail and slept in strangers' homes and recreated the Johnny Appleseed. It was an amazing story, wonderful story.
What's his real name? Well, what's his...
Isaac Fitzgerald is the man's name.
Really?
He is a contributor to the Today Show.
No, the Johnny Appleseed.
His name was John Chapman, I believe. His real name was John Chapman.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Johnny Applecore.
Yeah, and the guy who wrote the book was Isaac Fitzgerald, and he's a Today Show contributor and wrote a really good writer and a great storyteller, and just this sort of interesting soul that walks his own path. And wrote this book called American Rambler, and he went out to meet America, and it's a wonderful story. So take that, Connor and Josh. So there. Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center. Good morning, Captain Paul.
Good morning, McGraw. The roads are looking good with no accidents or slowdowns. A couple of construction notes. One lane of Manchester is closed westbound between Kings Highway and McCausland until 7 o'clock this evening for road work. And one right lane of 364 will be closed westbound just east of the Veterans Memorial Bridge from 9 o'clock this morning until 2:30 this afternoon. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Koch with your first alert forecast. Going to be a beautiful afternoon, mostly sunny skies. Temperatures closing in towards that 70-degree mark, falling just short. then into Friday. First half of the day looking dry, highs towards the mid-70s. By the afternoon, evening, and early overnight hours, we'll be tracking some scattered showers and storms. Can't rule out the possibility for some little bit of hail in that. By Saturday, we're clear, mostly sunny skies, a high of 81. The first half of Sunday, Mother's Day, looking at some scattered showers that'll look to clear by the afternoon hours. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Scotch for the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, let's talk about Stages. Stages, stlewis.org. That's where you go to get tickets for Stages. Now, this season coming up, they've had good ones before, but this one just might be the best of all the best. Here's what you do. There's nothing better than looking forward to a night out of live theater. So I know life is busy. And if you don't act now, you're going to forget about it, and then we're going to talk about it. Oh, did you see? And I wanted to go that, but I forgot. Oh, I forgot. Get it on the calendar right now. They've got 3 wonderful musicals coming up this year for Stages. The first one got a silly name. Hilarious, uproaring, funny. Quote, the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. That's the name of it. It's fantastic, and it's hilarious. Rip-roaring good time. Then they come back with the timeless classic Guys and Dolls. Again, great, musical, dancing, all that type of stuff. And then one of the greatest musicals ever made, and it's hard to say that it's a 9/11 feel-good musical because that just doesn't make any sense. But the musical Come From Away is a story about a true story about what happened when the planes were told to land in Gander, Newfoundland, and we didn't know what was going on. It is a wonderful story about people coming together and helping strangers. It is wonderful. It's Come From Away, and it's being put on by Stages this year. So grab a friend. Grab a friend who you know will tell you, I don't want to go see a live theater, and bring them. They will thank you for the rest of their lives. Stages, stlewis.org. Stages, stlewis.org. We'll see you out there.
Stan Musial, he missed a season in his prime to serve his country in the Navy.
Honor a legend on Saturday, May 16th, when the Cardinals face the Kansas City Royals. Fans can secure a Stan Musial military bobblehead presented by Coca-Cola and Deerbirds. This patriotic collectible celebrates Stan's Hall of Fame career and his service to our country. A true symbol of character on and off the field. A tribute worth displaying and remembering. Don't miss it. Get tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
Paging all nurses and healthcare heroes, this night is for you. Join the Cardinals for Nurses Appreciation on Wednesday, May 20th and Thursday, May 21st at Busch Stadium. With a special theme ticket, you'll receive a healthcare-inspired Cardinal sweatshirt plus a coupon for a complimentary drink. It's our way of saying thank you for all that you do in our community. Don't miss the special theme at the ballpark. Details and tickets at cardinals.com/.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit lance.drurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
It's springtime, so make some spring cleaning and clear out some room for Dogtown. Dogtown Pizza, of course. Take those freezers and deep freezes and stock them full of Dogtown Pizza. With plenty of sports and warm weather action coming up, you'll want to make sure you always have an emergency pizza on hand. And with 12 different varieties, you're going to need to make plenty of room. Bacon, 4 meat, and the veggie. Clean out those freezers to make plenty of room for all the Dogtown varieties. And to see a full list, check out dogtownpizza.com.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
$6:21 here, Big 550 KTRS. Howard Lutnick, a name people might not know, but he is a cabinet member in the Trump administration, and he had to testify in front of Congress yesterday. Stephen Portnoy, what happened?
Well, it was a closed-door interview. It was not a deposition. You can consider it testimony, but it wasn't sworn. Nevertheless, this is the first time a Trump cabinet member has come in to answer the committee's questions, the Oversight Committee's questions, about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, Howard Lutnick was neighbors of Jeffrey Epstein for many years in Manhattan and has described visiting Jeffrey Epstein's house and being kind of freaked out by the presence of a massage table. And he has said that he disconnected himself from Epstein. And yet, the Epstein files illustrate how Howard Lutnick and his family visited Epstein's island in 2012. So he was asked about that yesterday. Democrats emerged from this closed-door interview saying that, they wish the public could see how nervous and evasive and dishonest Howard Lutnick was. The testimony was not videotaped, which is a break from the practice of the Oversight Committee as it's conducted some other high-profile, depositions, including of the Clintons. That was videotaped. They went all the way up to Chappaqua, New York for that. This interview took place yesterday during a week-long recess of the Congress, so it was a kind of a low-key moment on Capitol Hill. And ultimately, for many hours, Lutnick took the questions. The committee chair, James Comer, says if there's any misstatements, it's a felony to lie, even though it wasn't sworn testimony. And he vows that anyone who lies will be held accountable. But in the end, ultimately, Comer says there'll be a transcript released, and the people can read it and decide what they feel or how they feel about it.
Was Clinton, Hillary, or Bill, were they sworn in? Was that sworn testimony?
Well, those were depositions. So sure, yeah, that's the real deal.
Yeah, why the two different rules? Why film one and swear in one and not film the other and not swear in the other?
I suppose it's an accommodation. One thing that James Comer said yesterday was it's been a long time since the party that controls the House is aligned with the party in the White House, which has had a cabinet member come in sort of a non-adversarial way. And so to accommodate those interests, the decision was made by the chairman not to force the sworn testimony. You can bet, though, that if Democrats take control of the House, and they've made this promise to the public, that they will call in Howard Lutnick again and have it be a sworn deposition on camera.
Howard Lutnick say anything? His people say anything afterwards?
No, but again, this all has to do with whether there was anything more to learn about Howard Lutnick and his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. The one thing that people are seizing on is the fact that in 2012, during a trip to the Virgin Islands, Lutnick brought his family to Epstein's Island. And one of the confusing aspects of this is the idea that, as Lutnick apparently described it, he was bewildered by the fact that he was even invited. But he hasn't fully and comprehensively explained why he would have gone to the island if he was sort of creeped out by his neighbor years after he claimed that he had disassociated himself from Epstein. So that's why Democrats are saying there are quite a few holes in the story.
Stephen Portnoy, ABC News. Thanks, Stephen. Have a good day.
You bet.
You got it. ABC News national correspondent. That happened on the same day that the New York Times sued and apparently won the right to publish and to get the Jeffrey Epstein suicide note, which they published. They published his suicide note. Doesn't really say much. Sort of the ramblings of a mentally unstable man, but it's there. You can see it. It's got. Apparently, it's in his handwriting. He survived the attempt, but then a few weeks later, was successful. But nonetheless, there is a suicide note that has now officially been released because the New York Times sued and said this should be made public. And I guess the judge agreed, and now it's out in the public domain. Unbelievable. Story just keeps on keeping on, doesn't it? 626 here, Big 550 KTRS. Stay right there. Karen Travers is going to be joining us. Marco Rubio is meeting with the Pope right now as we speak. And on this side of the pond, the United States government waits for Iran's response as to whether or not they're going to accept this ceasefire of a ceasefire, this agreement to loosen up the strait so that they can begin negotiations. We'll wait and see how what Karen Travers says in about a half hour. Let's talk appliance discounters, because if you have any issues with any appliances and you got to go buy a new one, they don't last forever. You can fix them. Oftentimes you can fix them, but oftentimes it's just sort of makes sense to go and buy a new one. That's where Appliance Discounters comes in, because Appliance Discounters has 6 area locations. They also have name brand appliances. They also have name brand appliances at the best prices in town. Do you want more of an incentive? Fine, I'll give it to you. When you buy an Energy Star appliance at Appliance Discounters, they will charge you no sales tax. That's a pretty good deal. That's an extra 8, 9, 10% off the price of a appliance. Washers, refrigerators, dishwashers, no sales tax. Every single appliance in the store is on sale. And if you buy that Energy Star appliance, guess what? They've got no sales tax. They've got huge cash rebates that come with from the manufacturers. They got all the warranties, including 12 months interest-free financing. So the best price in town, an extra no sales tax, no interest for 12 months, pick-up delivery, 6 area locations. We'll see you there. TheApplianceDiscounters.com to find the one nearest you. TheApplianceDiscounters.com. Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis, Classic Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, the slowdown has begun on 55 North at Bayless, where it's stop and go, and it continues to Weber. A couple construction notes. One lane of Manchester is closed westbound between Kings Highway and McCausland until 7 o'clock this evening for road work. And one right lane of 364 will be closed westbound just east of the Veterans Memorial Bridge from 9 o'clock this morning until 2:30 this afternoon. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Bowen and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
42 degrees this morning here at the Big 550 KTRS. Take a look at your weather. It starts to warm up today. High of 69, sunny. Winds not too bad, so a nice, good spring day. 69, maybe we'll hit 70. Overnight tonight, 52. Friday, tomorrow, 73 with some afternoon showers. Saturday, we're in the 80s, and then Sunday, a little Sunday morning rain on Sunday morning with a high of 70 for Mother's Day. It is, 42 degrees right now? 6:30. Back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
Russia's defense ministry reports that air defenses shot down 347 Ukrainian drones overnight. This major attack comes after Moscow rejected Kiev's ceasefire earlier in the week. Powerful storms that included at least one confirmed tornado have torn through parts of Mississippi, collapsing hundreds of homes, tearing up trees, and downing power lines. There were no immediate reports of deaths or severe injuries from the storms that struck several counties last night. In local headlines, parking fees will be increasing at Lambert Airport. The City Commission voted to raise parking rates due to rising operational and maintenance costs. And today is Give STL Day. It's designed to encourage donations to area nonprofit organizations. You can find a list of nonprofits online at givestlday.org. 40 degrees. Time now is 6:30. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
All right. Let me do this. Can I do this? I'll do this. Kevin Lloyd, Legacy Wealth Advisors. We just got finished doing our taxes, and I don't have to worry about that again. Actually, that's the wrong way to look at taxes. It's always tax season. And instead of looking backwards to pay 2025 taxes, what we need to start doing is looking ahead to paying 2028 taxes and 2030 taxes and 2035 taxes. Because Uncle Sam knows that they let you allow it to grow tax-free, and when you take it out, that's when they get you. Government's not stupid. Well, here's the deal. Kevin Lloyd has policies, procedures, strategies to reduce your taxes going forward. Now, why would you spend all of your energy on trying to reduce your taxes going backwards when you really need to be worried about your taxes going forward? And that's where Kevin Lloyd comes in. That's why he's so successful. That's why his clients love him. That's why his clients never leave him, because he gets you to a point many times where you're in retirement and you're living a tax-free retirement. He is a financial advisor who embraces tax strategy. He says you can't have a good retirement plan without a tax strategy, and that's where Kevin Lloyd comes in. Sit down, talk with him, see what he's all about. Go meet with one of his advisors. Everybody I send there comes back raving about, how come I didn't hear about this before? I'm telling you right now, call Kevin, call the office. Get on the schedule, 314-641-1010. Whether you're retired or close to retirement, or you're thinking about retirement and you want to sort of start to get your ducks in a row, that's smart. That's why you call Kevin Lloyd, 314-641-1010, or the website whenretirementhappens.com.
Hey, May is Women's Health Month. So, ladies, when was the last time you truly put yourself first? So many women are busy taking care of everyone else while feeling tired, off, and just not quite like themselves. That's not something you should just accept. It's Heidi here for Premier You, where they help you understand your hormones, your metabolism, and your body so you can feel like you again. Your first month is on them with a 6-month commitment. It's time to prioritize you. So, book your consultation at premierUmed.com.
Chloe arrived with nothing. No clothes, no car seat, no comfort.
Because of supporters like you, nonprofit Foster Together responded quickly with a free bed, car seat, clothing, shoes, and most importantly, love. For Give STL Day, your gift is doubled thanks to a matching donor. That means twice as many children like Chloe can receive beds, car seats, and essentials. Give today at foster-together.org or text KTRS to 53555.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
I'm Dan Head, the new owner of Patriot Build Sunrooms, a family company with a name trusted by St. Louis for sunrooms for over 40 years. We have well over 10,000 customers, and many have hired us for multiple projects over the years. The quality of our design reps, craftsmen, service team, and support throughout the entire process is what makes Patriot the go-to experts in the outdoor living space. Call 822-3232 for a free design consultation and come visit our Kirkwood showroom online at patriotbuildsstl.com.
Chicken and Pickle is a unique family entertainment complex located on the west end of Main Street in St. Charles. Indoor and outdoor space for pickleball, public or private parties, concerts, charitable fundraisers, watch parties, and more. There's a chef-driven restaurant and sports bar, pickleball courts with professional instruction, space for live entertainment, and yard games. Chicken and Pickle, where great food and good friends come together, and pickleball is a really big deal. Don't forget to book your private events located on Main Street in St. Charles or chickenandpickle.com.
Hallmark Cards presents Mother's Day at Walgreens. Celebrate every mother figure in your life with a Hallmark card at Walgreens. Show how much she means to you and how deeply she's loved. A Hallmark card is the perfect way to say thank you for all she does. Don't forget, Mother's Day is Sunday, May 10th. Visit Walgreens today to find the perfect Hallmark Mother's Day card and make her feel truly special. Mother's Day means Hallmark cards at Walgreens.
Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Jacob.
And I'm Beth Jacob. We're the owners of Jacob Showers and Baths.
We specialize in helping seniors age in place with bath and shower designs that are both safe and aesthetically pleasing. We can replace your current tub with a low-threshold walk-in shower, add grab bars and seats, and the shower floor is a non-slick surface. Come visit our showrooms in Fenton and Fairview Heights.
Mention the McGraw Special or select the McGraw Show from our drop-down menu online. Our phone number is 800-222-6676 or visit us online at jacobbaths.com.
McGraw, live in the morning on KTRS.
I'm on the drums there.
The guy playing the drums is actually doing the singing, too. So he had to be in time and be in time to sing.
Oh, interesting.
Don Henley.
I saw the Eagles at Busch Stadium.
With Dixie?
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
Dixie
the
Chicks. Yeah, well, 6:37 here, Big 550 KTRS. Listen to this. The National Weather Service is struggling to recover from last year's deep staffing cuts. One key facility in Oklahoma that leads tornado forecastings and warnings has 5 openings, which is highly unusual. Around the country, they've lost meteorologists as they shuffle them to cities that will host the World Cup soccer games. So not only are these places understaffed, but the staff that is there is being called away for other duty. The roster of scientists has shrunk by about 15% through firings and early retirements. The weather data's expertise forums are the backbone of all kinds of forecasts, including television, radio. Where do you think they get all of their weather from? The National Weather Service. And if the National Weather Service doesn't have the scientists, then guess what? Your phone doesn't get the... Somebody said to me during all those Doge cuts where somebody was worried about, oh, my goodness, if you fire all the meteorologists, we won't be able to know the weather. And some guy called up and called me a liberal and said, why do I need the National Weather Service? I get the weather on my phone. And I said, that's a brilliant point, sir, but where does your phone get the weather from?
Cupertino.
So anyway, there's a big. They're trying to hire back hundreds of meteorologists, and they're worried that the infrastructure is not equipped with enough meteorologists for the impending tornado season and the hurricane threats that are right around the corner. So there were people who were worried, and it seems like it has come to fruition. The job postings last week on the National Weather Service, if you're interested, they're looking for 145 entry-level meteorologists across the country over the next 5 months. So just like the air traffic controllers, we are in dire need of meteorologists. So if you want to become a meteorologist or are a meteorologist looking for work, the National Weather Service might not be a bad option for you. But really kind of interesting. Also, here's the other one that's kind of interesting. So Kansas City is a site of one of the World Cup
qualifiers.
Yeah, World Cup qualifiers. And it turns out that the Kansas City hotels are vacant, and that people are not signing up at the levels they were expecting when it comes to the World Cup. Apparently what's going on is a recent survey by the American Hotel and Lodging Association saw 85 to 90% of the Kansas City respondents report a booking pace lagging a typical June or July without any major events. Kansas City has fared the worst among the 11 host cities surveyed. Kansas City is going to host 6 World Cup matches between June 16th and July 11th at Arrowhead Stadium. They're reporting that FIFA has canceled many of the rooms. 70% that were originally contracted, right? We're going to reserve these spots for our FIFA friends and people coming to visit. Well, they're giving them back. 70% say, well, why? 70% say visa barriers. Also, weak international travel is also part. I predicted this. At some point, if you remember, but nobody wants to give me credit for it. I said these foreigners aren't going to want to come to America. They're sort of, whether you think it or not, they're looking at America saying, we don't want to go to a country where you're locking up foreigners and asking questions later. Also, the United States is putting a premium on visas. So if you want a visa, you're going to have to pay like a deposit, and you get back when you leave the country. So they're making it harder for people to come to the country. So cancellations by FIFA just months ahead of the tournament means that hotels are unexpectedly scrambling to backfill vacant rooms. So if you want to go to Kansas City, apparently you can get a sweet price on a hotel room. Travel in the U.S. is expensive. Airline, gas, strong dollar, prices are up. Visa barriers also disproportionately affect Kansas City. Listen to this. The Trump administration instituted a $15,000 visa bond requirement to prevent World Cup fans in 50 nations, including Algeria and Tunisia, from overstaying their visa. Both countries play matches in Arrowhead. So
was hosting the World Cup ever in jeopardy after all of this? Like,
no,
were people
that's
questioning
been, that was awarded years ago. But I remember when Mike Keogh was on the show with Kelly Jackson, so it was a good 2 years or so ago or more, and Kansas City was fighting to become a host city because of the economic windfall with all these visitors blowing up hotels and spending all their money, and all these wonderful people coming in spending their money in the great state of Missouri. So let's make Kansas City a host site. Well, now, just weeks away from the World Cup, foreigners aren't coming. The hotels are vacant, which makes sense because it's expensive to fly. Airlines are in trouble. They're cutting back and raising the prices, not to mention you got to pay more to get into the country. And once you're here, the perception is that you're not welcome. Whether that's true or not doesn't matter. Perception is that they're not welcome, and they might be caught up in a ICE raid or something, and got to show your ID. And if you left it back in the hotel room, then you're swept up, and who knows what happens.
Well, here are the 8 countries that are playing in Kansas City for the group stage: Argentina, Algeria, Ecuador, Curacao, Tunisia, the Netherlands, Austria, and Algeria plays twice.
Yeah.
So 7.
Yeah. So I mean,
and
that's,
some of those are Central American companies.
And if you haven't booked your flight yet for the World Cup coming from Tunisia, the chances are you're not. I don't know if there are last minute Altair travel deals from Tunisia where you can go and get a quick Altair travel deal. So I don't know, but that's sort of is going to be a big story. The
is
rest
Iran
of the week.
playing?
Yeah, apparently they're supposed to play in San Francisco.
The closest place.
Does that happen often where it's like
Where
a
you're-
World Cup's hosting, but also simultaneously at war with some of the countries participating?
Well, I mean, just off the top of my head, 1936 Berlin, World War II hadn't started yet, but the United States sent a delegation to Berlin, and Jesse Owens ran, and Hitler turned his back on him. Right, the African American Jesse Owens, who won all these gold medals, and Hitler turned his back on him. And then, of course, World War II broke out, months later. So it's an interesting deal. But, So if you're looking for a hotel room, Kansas City's got plenty of them, apparently. 6:45 here at Big 550 KTRS. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw 55 North is stop and go at Bayless, and the slowdown continues until you reach Carondelet. We have some slow traffic on northbound Tesson Ferry between Suisun Hills and Butler Hill. 55 North is busy from Richardson to 141, and there's a slowdown in Wentzville on 61 South between Route A and 70. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Couch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking a mostly sunny afternoon, highs towards that 70-degree mark, then into Friday. First half of the day looking dry, a high of 76. By the afternoon, evening hours, we'll be tracking some scattered showers and storms that'll clear before we head off into Saturday morning. 81 degrees Saturday, looking at a lot of sunshine by Mother's Day Sunday. The first half of the day, going to be tracking some scattered showers that'll clear by the second half, highs towards the lower 70s. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Conch for the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, part of the problem is that ticket prices are so high due to the fact that these ticket agencies bought so many tickets. My son was going to go, but the prices are ridiculous. Therefore, no tickets, no hotel will be needed. 636, people are afraid to come to the U.S. 636, everyone predicted that, McGraw. It was a no-brainer. 3 and 4, my special needs daughter goes to a camp that has counselors from all over the world. We were just notified that there will be no camp this year because of the visa issue. She is so disappointed. Here's another one. Have you seen the stupidly expensive cost for World Cup tickets in Kansas City? Yeah, that's another complaint. So if you can't, but, you know, think of it this way. You can spend more on the tickets because the hotels are cheaper because there's no hotels. So there you go. Let's talk Ted Drew's frozen custard. Ted Drew's frozen custard is now open. Mother's Day is Sunday. See the correlation here? Any greater Mother's Day than to put everybody in the car and head over to Ted Drew's for Mother's Day? Right after your Sunday brunch, right after you've made dinner, right after you give the flowers, right after you have breakfast in bed, whatever you're going to do, head over to Ted Drew's. It is a St. Louis tradition. Since 1929, they're coming up on 100 years. Ted Drew's frozen custard. And everyone's complaining about price. Doesn't cost a whole lot to get a frozen custard and sit in the parking lot and reconnect with the family. Put the phone down. You can't have a phone because you got one hand with the cup and the other hand with the spoon. So put the phone down and enjoy a little slice of St. Louis. It's Ted Drew's. Go and get the McGraw Concrete. Everybody loves the McGraw Concrete. Not everybody, but it has been a bestseller for years and years. Half Oreo, half Heath. I know Josh likes the McGraw Concrete. He just doesn't like to tell anybody. Ted Drew's, it's a year-round tradition. We'll see you there. If it's not Sunday, at some point over the weekend, head over to Ted Drew's on Chippewa. It really is good, guys and gals. Ted Drew's, a St. Louis tradition.
I've been asked to say a word about Allen Roofing. That's not fair. I can't say it in a word. If they just did roofs, I probably could. I would say roofs. But they can do siding. They could replace it. They could put leaf guards on. They could reattach it like they had to do for me, where my gutter kind of came away from the house. Siding issues, they carry James Hardy, the very best. They can fix that too. Basically, if it's something you could see from the outside of your home or your office, they can fix it, improve it, or replace it. Look, it's probably the biggest investment you're ever going to make. Protect it. Absolutely. And nobody does it better than Allen Roofing. Check out all the reviews online. Everybody else seems to know. I shouldn't have to tell you these things. For all of your roofing needs and so much more, Allen Roofing. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Hallmark Cards presents Mother's Day at Walgreens. Celebrate every mother figure in your life with a Hallmark card at Walgreens. Show how much she means to you and how deeply she's loved. A Hallmark card is the perfect way to say thank you for all she does. Don't forget, Mother's Day is Sunday, May 10th. Visit Walgreens today to find the perfect Hallmark Mother's Day card and make her feel truly special. Mother's Day means Hallmark cards at Walgreens.
Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Dan Lang with Carter Pet Hospital, inviting you to join me every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 p.m. with the Animal Advice Show. We'll talk about everything regarding dogs, cats, and other domestic animals. We'll discuss nutrition, training, regular checkups, invite special guests, and, of course, answer your questions. Join us every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 p.m. for the Animal Advice Show on the Big 550 KTRS, the Animal Talk of St. Louis.
McGraw Millhaven on KTRS.
Karen Travers, ABC News White House correspondent. Karen Travers, I guess the president is waiting for a call from Iran?
Yeah, I mean, we certainly have been here before, but right now it appears that the U.S. and Iran are negotiating over a framework to end this 10-week-long conflict. The president said yesterday they want to make a deal. He says they've had very good talks over the previous 24 hours, and it's possible that they'll come to some agreement. Iran says it's reviewing a U.S. proposal that was sent via Pakistan, and sources say it's a one-page memo of understanding that would allow for a month of deeper negotiations, including, of course, talks over the future of Iran's nuclear program. And there would also be a proposal in there aimed at easing this very obviously tense standoff in the Strait of Hormuz, where the U.S. would lift the blockade gradually on Iranian ports if Iran allows traffic to flow more freely through that area again. So is this progress? Well, it's the first step toward negotiations, since the president had called off talks in Pakistan a week and a half ago. But he's also still threatening to go back to military strikes, saying that if they don't agree, the bombing starts. Very different message than what we heard from Secretary of State Marco Rubio just 2 days ago, who had indicated that that phase of the conflict was over, and now it was a different phase. But there's kind of a lot of mixed messaging coming in from the top.
Yeah, and we should sort of it's understanding to have more negotiations, right? It's an agreement to talk about having an agreement.
Yeah, it's certainly what it seems like, an agreement to get to a place to be able to talk, because they're not doing that right now and haven't been able to get to a place of talking. There was obviously the day when J.D. Vance, the vice president, was in Islamabad, 20 hours of negotiations. It didn't reach a deal. He was then set to go back, and that trip was called off. And the president has said, I'm not sending people on 18-hour flights if we're not going to get close. There's no indication that there's any in-person meetings imminent, but this is where they are right now, going back and forth with paper and talks. The president has said, his people are talking to their people. But I think if we get any sense that there would be significant movement, that could be the next step forward, an actual face-to-face meeting.
Yeah, and in this one-page memorandum, what's being reported is Iran, I don't know what they're agreeing to or what the U.S. is agreeing to, but they're going to talk further about the uranium. They're going to slowly open up the Strait of Hormuz. The United States is going to give billions of dollars back to Iran. So, I mean, it's a very loose agreement, as we said, planning on talking about the tougher issues later, right? They're going to.
And all those tougher issues have been the tougher issues for some time. I mean, it's not like those tougher issues just came up in the last 2 weeks or 10 weeks. Those have been the issues on the table that have been so tricky. Iran's nuclear program, what to do with the enriched uranium there, the Iranians saying that they can control the Strait, and talking about them tolling, and the administration not obviously being in favor of that. So there's still a lot of very thorny things that still would have to get worked out. But, they're trying to pitch this as, hey, it's a step in the right direction.
Karen Travers, ABC News White House correspondent. Go check on the kids. Thanks for a good, hard day's work, Karen Travers.
It will be I'm with the president today in the Oval at 11,
oh my goodness.
So we'll hopefully have a chance to ask him some questions.
Oh, my goodness. All right, well, get back to work then. Thanks for checking in. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Karen Travers, ABC News White House correspondent. There you go. Somehow it might be an international incident today at 11, and Karen Travers will be there to watch it and then a report on it tomorrow. So there you go. All right, 6:55 here, Big 550 KTRS. Yeah, that one-page memorandum, if memory serves me correctly, they're going to slowly open up the Strait. They're going to talk about the uranium. The United States is going to give back hundreds of millions of dollars, lift sanctions on Iran, give back the money that is being held with these sanctions, and then talk about the uranium and open up the Strait. So that's what's on the table to talk about it going forward. We'll see where all this shakes out. No timeline yet on all this, but this morning they're saying that they're apparently waiting for Iran to respond to whether or not they're going to accept the deal to talk about a deal. We'll tell you what the deal is as soon as we know. 6:55 here, Big 550 KTRS. Do a little traffic and weather. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Take it away, Captain Paul.
McGraw crash on 64 West at McKnight is blocking the left lane and causing a backup to 170. Estimated clearance time is 7:45. 55 North is bumper to bumper and crawling at Bayless, but it thins out quickly at Weber. 270 North heavy from Big Bend to Manchester. We have some slow traffic on northbound Tesson Ferry between Suisun Hills and Butler Hill. 55 North is also busy from Richardson to 141. And there's a slowdown in Wentzville on 61 South between Route A and 70. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
42 degrees here at the Big 550 KTRS. We've got some little warm-up begins today. We could reach 70 degrees today. We'll take it. We've had a gorgeous, gorgeous week of delicious weather. So maybe a high of 70 today, 69 definitely. Plenty of sunshine. A couple of clouds will float by. Tomorrow, some afternoon rain, high of 73. Saturday, 82. On our first look at Mother's Day, 70 with some early morning showers, high of 70 on Mother's Day. Baldy Electric, 314-968-9999. Baldy Electric is your electrician of choice, dare I say, because Baldy Electric, indoor, outdoor, brand new building. Maybe you got an old building. We got knob and tube wiring. You've got to get that replaced. Maybe the junction box is a little bit frayed. It's got a little rust in there. That happens from time to time. Michael Baldy can come out and solve all those problems. He's been doing this since 1996. He's a licensed electrician, and he's got a full team of electricians all ready to go to help you indoor or outdoor. My recommendation, call him, because the minute you call him, you'll think of 7 other jobs you need him to do. And God forbid you have a plug plugged into a plug, plug into a plug, plug into a plug. And then you've got that little burn mark. When we were kids, we had the outlet. We had that little burn mark next to the outlet, right? That's not safe. That's not healthy. Call Baldy Electric. They'll get it fixed for you. 314-968-9999 or BaldyElectric.com.
Your yard, your workday, your John Deere. At Side & Sugar Nobe Partners, get the mowing power you need with low financing options on John Deere Zero Turns. For a limited time, choose 0% financing for 36 months or 1.9% financing for 60 months on Z700, Z900, and Quick Track commercial mowers. Plus, get additional cash off select mowers. Side & Sugar Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 6/1/2026. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Thanks, Farmer Dave. We are in our peak selling and buying season right now. I'm paying top dollar for pristine, low-mile cars and motorcycles, especially Corvettes, Porsches, sports cars, and luxury cars. I'll buy classics, too. Hop on our site and submit your vehicle. Downsizing, estate liquidation, we'll even buy entire collections. If you're in the St. Louis area, I'll come to you and inspect, make an offer on all your vehicles if they're in great condition. You can submit those through our site, too, mastercarsinc.com. We are buying, selling, and trading every day for 3 decades.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit mastercarsinc.com to get more details. That's mastercarsinc.com.
30 years going strong. We are live, local and locally owned. This is the Big 550, KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Severe storms targeting parts of the South again today and the Mid-Atlantic. In Mississippi, at least 17 people were injured after volatile storms tore through last night.
In just 2 counties in the southwest corner of the state, more than 800 buildings were damaged by possible tornadoes, including...
The actual emergency operations center had blown out windows.
Scott Simmons with the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency says more than a dozen people in 3 counties were hurt, but...
Firefighters are working hard just to remove tree limbs and get debris off the road so they can get access.
So far, no fatalities have been reported. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Officials in Iran say they're reviewing the latest peace proposal from the U.S. Sources say the Trump administration has sent Iran a 1-page memo of understanding, laying the groundwork for talks on Iran's nuclear program. ABC's Rachel Scott says the Trump administration facing backlash over surging gas prices at home.
President Trump well aware gas prices are rising every day. The average price of a gallon of gas now $4.56. That's the highest in 4 years, up $1.62 since the war began and 25 cents since just last week. The president said there was no deadline for Iran to make a deal.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio and his wife arriving in Rome today. Rubio, a practicing Catholic, meeting with Pope Leo at the Vatican. The Trump administration and the president have been critical of the Pope for calling for an end to the war. The cruise ship at the center of the hantavirus cluster now headed for the Canary Islands. 3 who were on that ship have died, and there are 5 other confirmed and suspected cases. Here's ABC's Victor Okendo.
3 more suspected cases reported overnight. That brings the total to 11. Dutch officials say 30 passengers disembarked in St. Helena nearly 2 weeks ago. And here at home, several states are now monitoring former passengers.
The WHO says it's tracing passengers who disembarked from that ship earlier. You're listening to ABC News.
Hi, St. Louis. This is Ben Barnett with Timberline Tree Care. I'm really excited to announce another reason why we should be taking care of your trees. Timberline is now the only tree care provider anywhere to offer full-spectrum tree maintenance programs that are fully guaranteed. Here's how it works. You call Timberline and an ISA-certified arborist will meet you at your home. We will develop a plan that includes soil testing and amendment, fertilization, any necessary pesticide applications, and annual inspections by an ISA-certified arborist. But here's the best part. Maintenance pruning of your tree is included in this plan. And in the unlikely event that your tree dies while under our care, we will remove it for free. All you have to do is call us and sign up for the plan. We will take care of literally everything from there. There's no obligation, and you can cancel at any time. For tree care that is guaranteed, call Timberline Professional Tree Care at 636-479-7475 or find out more at stltreecare.com.
Our mission at My Life in a Bag is serving the youth in our community housed in foster care. In 2025, My Life in a Bag served 591 children, and our goal in 2026 is to serve 1,500, which comes at great expense. DSS requires that every personal item be new, even suitcases and backpacks, to replace the trash bags most of the kids arrive with. To ensure they have the basics, clothing and hygiene products, we're looking to raise $375,000 this year. My Life in a Bag is all volunteer. Please remember My Life in a Bag on Give STL Day, May 7th. MyLifeInABagFoundation.org.
Diana from Newstetter's Fine Jewelers here to remind you, we don't just offer the best pieces, we offer one of the last master hand engravers in our country. My father can create timeless, personal, and unforgettable pieces. Come by our showroom at the corner of Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or learn more online at wowdiamonds.com.
41 degrees at 7:03. Here's what's happening now. City officials are warning the St. Louis water system won't make it through the end of the fiscal year unless there's a rate increase. Director of Public Utilities Niraj Patel says a rate hike is needed as the city faces mounting costs related to aging infrastructure and other issues. The Water Division says the cost to maintain and upgrade the system is expected to be about $700 million over the next 2 decades. City administrators are proposing an 18% rate increase in both 2026 and 2027. The Teamsters have gone on strike against Breakthrough Beverages in St. Louis. Union leaders say the company rejected key proposals centered on worker protections, fair compensation, and solidarity rights. One of the major sticking points has been the company's failure to agree to contract wording that would ensure that Teamsters members aren't forced to cross other unions' lawful picket lines. Both the Missouri and Illinois Departments of Agriculture are now accepting applications for the Specialty Crop Block Grant Program. More from KTRS's Steve Potter.
Grant money is available for individuals, nonprofits, community organizations, and colleges and universities to produce specialty crops, which include fruits, vegetables, tree nuts, honey, and nursery crops. The grant program is designed to expand markets on local and regional levels and promote education, research, marketing, and food safety strategies, while also expanding public access to fresh, healthy products. The deadline to apply in Missouri is May 28th and June 5th in Illinois. Application forms can be found on the Department of Agriculture websites of both states. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
McBride Homes is suing the city of O'Fallon. This is in response to a vote against a plan for a new subdivision. McBride's attorneys argue that if the final plan is consistent with the previously approved preliminary plan, then the city council lacks discretion to deny approval of the final plan. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. They'll push for all your floral needs. Push your order anytime at WKF.com. 41 degrees at 7:05. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
All right, Rose Dalton. We are off and running here on the Big 550. KTRS coming up. Jim Ryan's going to be joining us. As if you need anything else to worry about, needle ants. Needle ants. They're making their way up. Brad Garrett's going to be joining us. The staggering security plan being in place for this summer's World Cup. So you have plenty of hotels in Kansas City. No one's buying tickets because they're through the roof. No one's coming into the country, and you're not going to be able to move. Sounds to me like it's going to be a fun deal. Now, speaking of that, speaking of what's going on in Kansas City and how nobody all the hotel rooms are unbooked in Kansas City. In St. Louis, we mentioned the other day that on June 6th, so what, just a month from now, Bosnia and Herzegovina are going to play Panama in a friendly at Energizer Park. Now, Bosnia and Herzegovina will train at the Energizer Park. This is going to be their quote-unquote home match because they're going to be here for a month. And so you need a place to go to sort of, settle in and practice and everything else. And so they're here and they're going to practice out at Energizer Park and then play this friendly. I can't. That's going to be people who are, right, the Bosnians who were in town. Frank was talking about this the other day. They're going to come in and cheer their home country. I mean, that's going to be a fun little deal.
It will be pretty amazing.
Yeah, it'll be a whole lot of fun. And they don't need a hotel room, which is even better.
Here.
They live here. So there you go. So June 6th, Energizer Park. So that should be fun. But trying to get to Kansas City and get in a hotel, who knows how that's going to work. But June 6th should be a fun time downtown. All right. So can I tell an Emerson story?
Sure.
Can I tell an Emerson story?
Is she listening right now?
I don't know. So yesterday I'm in charge of dinner. And so we get some dinner and some broccoli and some chicken, and we're having dinner. And she says, Dad, where's the rice? I said, I didn't make any rice. Dad, I told you I wanted rice. I was like, I didn't hear you. I was like, I got us spinach. So about a half hour later, she says, Daddy, you need a hearing aid. I go, why is that? Because I told you I wanted rice and you didn't get rice. So I think for a second, I'm like, well, you know what? You need a hearing aid. Every time I tell you to pick up your clothes or your toys, you don't hear me.
Ooh, well played.
And she says, yeah, Dad, but that's by choice.
Wow.
Interesting.
You little stinker.
Selective hearing.
Yes, you little stinker. Yeah, Dad, but that's by choice. I just choose not to hear you. God love you. Tonight's the big night. It's the 30th anniversary gala, like the Met Gala in New York. It's the KTRS Gala tonight, and there's going to be a red carpet. There's going to be a photography, star-studded gala. Who knows who's going to be out there? And then we all have to get up and say a couple of words.
Are you serious about the red carpet and the photography?
Oh, it's red carpet. Yeah, no, it's a whole thing.
Are you being serious?
Oh yeah,
There's
no.
gonna be red carpet.
There's gonna be a red carpet. There's gonna be photography. There's gonna be paparazzi.
Stop it.
It's gonna be a whole thing.
Stop.
Yeah, we're gonna get in there, and we have to stand there and parade around in our,
You know what?
Bruno Mali shoes and what are you wearing?
This is not helping.
What are you wearing? I'm wearing Men's Warehouse. What are you wearing?
Who are you wearing?
Who are you wearing?
Bugle Boy jeans. Are those Bugle Boy jeans you're wearing?
Who was the guy who was? I guarantee it. Who was that guy from the Men's Warehouse? What happened to that? What happened to that guy? Was it George something? Was that the guy who said I liked the suit so much I bought the company? Was that guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Men's Warehouse.
Yeah, Men's
and
Warehouse.
He had his little signature at the bottom.
Yeah. I think he sold out and sitting on a beach somewhere.
Do you remember Oppenheimer's?
I do not remember.
Not the
Oppenheimer's.
movie, but I think there was I feel like that was a men's.
A
thing
men's
for
clothier.
Yeah.
I'm wearing Sam Cavato.
I'm wearing Goodwill.
I'm wearing Hanes. Wait till I get my Hanes on you. I heard speaking of advertising, I heard a great tagline yesterday. So you know how like the tagline, wait till I get my Hanes on you, right? That's a great tagline. So Echo has, right, they make yard equipment for doing yard work, right? Echo, it's trimmers and mowers and blowers and, lawnmowers and you name it, they make it, right? Echo. Actually can be found at all, I believe they can be found at all fine Schnarr's Hardwares, actually. They had a tagline yesterday that was just so good. I stopped and was like, wow, that is somebody really smart. And the tagline was, Echo, you'll want to go yard.
I get it.
Which, in baseball terms, when you go yard, you hit a home run. Right? And so they go, a play on, hey, what did you do? I went yard. And so Echo was, you want to go yard, or you want to go yard. I just thought that was so fantastic. Echo, you'll want to go yard.
So it was George Zimmer was the
George
owner.
Zimmer.
You're going to like the way you look.
I guarantee
it.
I guarantee it. George Zimmer. So there you go. All right, good stuff. All right, 7:12 here, Big 550 KTRS. We'll get to Captain Paul Kopsky in a second. Let's do Altair Travel and Cruises, because you're going to want to get away. And where are you going to want to go? Well, that's the question. Do you know where you want to go? Or maybe you just want to get away and you don't know where you want to go. Either way, Altair Travel and Cruises can help you. Somebody sent pictures the other day of our trip when we floated down the Colorado River inside the Grand Canyon. And the one sister said to the other sister, I can't believe you guys did that. And the other sister said, we did, and we had a blast. Right? You never expect to do something. We did it when the memories are there, courtesy of Altair Travel and Cruises. So that's what they do. They create memories. And so get over to Altair Travel, give them a call, check in with Sherry or Angie or any one of the agents over there. They will help you out. That's what they do. It's not just booking a plane ticket. It's not just booking a hotel room. It's everything. You want to make sure you are there to see what you want to see. Sometimes you need a guide. Sometimes you need a helping hand. But you want to make sure you have somebody who is there to help navigate and help guide your travel so that you can go and enjoy. 314-968-9600. I say this all the time, but people say, I don't want to act like a tourist. Lewis and Clark had a guide, okay? So if Lewis and Clark can have a guide, you can have a guide when you go to Europe or Paris or London. Altair Travel or altairtravel.com. St. Louis, Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw crash on 64 West at McKnight is blocking the left lane and causing a backup to 170. Estimated clearance time from MoDOT is 7:45. 55 north bogs down at Weber and from Richardson to 141. 270 north is heavy from Manchester to 64. We have some slow traffic on northbound Tesson Ferry between Suisun Hills and Butler Hill. And there's a slowdown in Wentzville on 61 South between Route A and 70. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Koch with your first alert forecast. Going to be a beautiful afternoon, mostly sunny skies. Temperatures closing in towards that 70-degree mark, falling just short. Then into Friday. First half of the day looking dry, highs towards the mid-70s. By the afternoon, evening, and early overnight hours, we'll be tracking some scattered showers and storms. Can't rule out the possibility for some little bit of hail in that. By Saturday, we're clear, mostly sunny skies, a high of 81. The first half of Sunday, Mother's Day, looking at some scattered showers that'll look to clear by the afternoon hours. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for the Big 550 KTRS.
When you pay for tree work, you want to be sure you're getting the most for your hard-earned money. That's why you should always use the ISA certified arborist at River City Tree Service in Baldwin, Missouri. Hi, I'm Steve with River City Tree Service, and we've been the go-to tree service since 2008. Tree removal, tree trimming, storm damage, deadwood removal, stump grinding, and more. Give River City Tree Service a call for all your tree service needs at 314-270-8071. That's 314-270-8071. River City Tree Service.
More than 200 adults with developmental disabilities are building independent lives with Emmaus Homes, supporting them every step of the way. At Emmaus, we believe everyone deserves the chance to make choices, grow friendships, and live full, meaningful lives in their own communities. This Give STL Day, May 7th, your gift will make a difference for adults with disabilities. Donate today at emmaushomes.org/GiveSTL. Together, we are building a world for spirited people living spirited lives.
Every day another adventure. Our greatest discoveries come when we stop searching. Beneath the endless sky, away from the stress of work, the answer to the ancient Zen mystery. the sound of one hand clapping. Take a trip in an RV from Byerly in Eureka.
For the rest of your life, you gotta be there. Byerly RV.
Hi, Richard West with Overstock Outlet. Visit us at Overstock Outlet. We're the best random store around where you never know what we'll have. We stock shelves daily with name brand products from major box stores. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest inventory.
2 locations, 8621 Highway N in Lake St. Louis at Lake St. Louis Boulevard and Highway N, and 604 East Boonslick in Warrenton in the Old Kroger. Open daily. Check out their Facebook pages, Overstock Outlet Lake St. Louis, Overstock Outlet Warrenton, and Overstock Outlet Auctions.
And remember, Overstock Outlet, where you never know what we'll have.
The St. Louis Chess Club is a newly expanded 30,000 square foot state-of-the-art chess center featuring world-class tournament playing halls, classrooms, library, and casual play spaces for everyone who loves the game.
But it's so much more than a place to play.
It's where champions are built on the board, in the classroom, and across the community with a mission to bring the game to everyone from all levels with membership starting at just $15 a month.
Discover the excitement, the challenge, and the community of chess at stlouischessclub.org.
Stan Musial, he missed a season in his prime to serve his country in the Navy.
Honor a legend on Saturday, May 16th when the Cardinals face the Kansas City Royals. Fans can secure a Stan Musial military bobblehead presented by Coca-Cola and Deerbirds. This patriotic collectible celebrates Stan's Hall of Fame career and his service to our country. A true symbol of character on and off the field. A tribute worth displaying and remembering. Don't miss it. Get tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
Some Sundays are made for the water. Sunday, May 17th, as the Cardinals take on the Kansas City Royals, make it a ballpark day too. That day, you can score a Cardinals boat tote presented by Coca-Cola and Walmart. A classic summer bag that fits right in from the dock to the dugout. It's ready for long weekends, sunny afternoons, and whatever plans you have next. Get tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
Live from Studio 550, this is The McGraw Show on KTRS.
All right, and if you had nothing else to worry about, Jim Ryan's here to give us the inside info on needle ants. Jim Ryan, what are needle ants?
The Asian needle ant, called that because of its sharp jaws, but also because of its appearance. It looks sort of like a needle. It's very long, slender, about the size of your typical ant, and to the layman, looks pretty much like the typical ant, like a fire ant or some other sort of ant. But this one carries an especially powerful venom, and it stings. It doesn't bite, it stings, and that's how it injects this venom into your body. And if you're allergic to that particular venom, you could go into anaphylactic shock. You could end up in the hospital. You could even die. This thing started its migration. It's an invasive species. And in fact, it takes over other ant colonies if it moves into a specific area. It came in through Georgia. It spread south down to Florida. It spread north all the way up to New York State now in the last almost 100 years. It's been one spotting over in Wisconsin.
What are the odds of somebody getting bit by this thing or stung?
Well, I mean, the odds if you step on it, pretty good. If the ant happens to find you and start walking on you, pretty bad, because it's not an aggressive ant. That's the good part, and the other good part is it doesn't like to live indoors, so it's not going to make its way into your house. It'll stay out in the yard, which is really good news. I stepped on a wasp in my kitchen last week, McGraw, and it stung like crazy. And so, yeah, the good news about this one is it stays outside, and so leave it alone, and it won't bother you.
What was the wasp doing in your kitchen?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It wasn't doing much after that either, by the way.
You stepped on it, so it stung you while you were stepping on it? Because I'm sure you crushed it.
Stung me at least once or maybe twice, but it was under my toe, right? The third toe on the left foot. And man, it hurt. And it hits you like a lightning bolt, and then it subsides. And then it hits you again, and then it subsides. Was I telling you about this last week? But I've got a sleep app that will monitor sleep, right?
Yeah.
It tells you whether you're awake or you're asleep or how deep you're sleeping. And it has little red spikes at points when you wake up. And I could tell exactly when I was waking up in the middle of the night from the wasp sting. Boom, boom, boom.
Was it the toe that had roast beef, or was it toe that had none?
Oh, excellent! This little piggy, this little piggy had roast beef.
Oh yeah, it was roast beef. All right, so you're probably eating a roast beef sandwich there in the kitchen when you were doing it. So back to the needle ants. Are they expecting them to migrate other places? It seems like if they've been here for 100 years, they're sort of slow to migrate.
Well, yeah. I mean, but as the temperatures warm up, and statistically, yes, they are getting warmer farther north. It's made its way to Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, not yet to Missouri, but pretty darn close. So, yeah, maybe in the next 10, 15 years, it would make its way there, too. So just something to watch out for. I mean, you guys have fire ants, right?
Yeah, I guess. Fire ants, the little red ants, is that what they are?
Well, they bite.
Yeah.
And they're black. I mean,
yeah.
We get them here in Texas a lot. So how do you combat it? Well, you wear gloves when you're outside working in the garden, or you wear boots so you don't get stung. But, they sting. But this thing has an especially powerful sting.
Yeah. Does, pesticides work on these things?
They do, yeah, and your pest control person would be able to knock them out if it came to that. But first, you have to identify the type of ant, and if it's the Asian needle ant, then there are ways to kill the thing.
Yeah, so look for the stinger on the Asian needle ant, as if you have anything else to worry about. Jim Ryan, how's the toe? Is it better?
It's all right, yeah. Next morning it was fine. It eventually went away completely.
Yeah.
Not the toe, but the pain.
You're a gamer. We didn't even know. In our reports, we could not tell you were suffering in pain. The man plays hurt from time to time. Jim Ryan, ABC News. Thanks, Jim. Have a good day.
Take care, Steve McGraw.
You got it. I never knew he had a bad toe. Did you? The guy sounded fine.
Nope.
I mean, that's what I call coming to play, man. That guy is a gamer. It's game time. It's game time for Jim Ryan. Doesn't matter how bad his toe is. Guy just gets it done. Is your second toe bigger than your first toe?
Oh, the royal toe.
Yeah. I always thought that was called Murphy toe.
Morton's toe.
Royal toe.
Royal toe?
The royal toe.
Where the second toe is longer than the big toe.
Yeah, the index finger of your feet.
Right, because the toe is the thumb. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My second toe is bigger than my first toe.
So they
skinnier,
say,
thinner, but
taller.
You don't have two big toes.
I don't have two big toes. That would be weird.
So they're saying it's royal toe because the aristocracy had that.
Oh, is that what that is?
So inbreds.
Yeah, I always thought that was called Murphy toe for whatever reason. Somebody just made that up.
I thought it was Morton's.
Morton's toe?
Mm-hmm. And Morton's Nyroma or whatever, if you get something in your foot. There was all that stuff we learned about in massage school. But if your second toe's bigger, it could also cause if you're
bunions?
big, your big toe grows into, that
that's a Millhaven trait.
Yeah,
or a McGuire trait.
And
where the toes sort of curve into each other.
Yeah, because your big toe will start to just naturally go into the other one, and then it causes the bone spur, and that's the bunion, right?
Yeah.
And that gets painful. And you can get them all women in my family get them removed, surgically removed, and they could grow back.
The second toe sort of grows over the first toe grows over the second toe.
Right. So if you can start now, wear those yoga toes or something. You put that women use them to paint your nails or something to keep your toes separated.
Yeah,
but wear those at night to keep that big toe from. Yeah, because once it's a bone spur, you can't fix it. So just keep it from. Anyway.
Good to know. All right.
That's really smart.
That's yes.
Yeah, my sister Cheryl had that surgery.
It's insane.
During COVID.
And a lot of women get it, but also too, think about it too, women's high heels, shoes and stuff are so bad for women's feet because those narrow toe boxes, it forces that big toe into the right.
Yeah.
So all that hardships women put in to make sure that
you have to wear the
high heels. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That men invented. That's right.
I'm sure.
That's right.
I'm smart enough not to take the bait.
I'm not rigging. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying anything. I am not saying anything. I am smart enough. I'm old enough and smart enough to know. Don't swing at every pitch. Just sometimes let it go. Take the walk. I'm not gonna challenge the pitch. It was a strike. It was right down the middle. I'm just gonna let it go. I'm gonna strike out. I'm gonna go back to the bench and get ready for the next at bat. I am not going to swing at that pitch. Coming up a little bit later on, Brad Garrett is going to be joining us, talk about the security of World Cup matches. And then the president of Catholic Charities is going to be along. Antonio French is going to stop by. Frank Cusimano is going to stop by. The Only Facial, we'll check in with them. We remember them when they had just one store. Now they've got, 15, 20 stores. It's an unbelievable success story. So we'll check in with Andrea Erker from The Only Facial as they get ready for Mother's Day. 727 here, Big 550 KTRS. Speaking of Mother's Day, what are you doing for flowers? It's now Thursday. Okay. I started talking to you about this a week ago. Some of you took my advice, but some of you are latecomers. So here's what you do. It's Thursday. Get to a computer or on your phone and type in WKF.com and pick out the flowers for your mother. We're coming down to the bitter end, and if you wait any longer, it might take more time. Look, here's the deal. Walter Knoll hires more drivers. They hire more staff. They understand this is the mother of all Mother's Days. And so Walter Knoll is ready to go. But to make it a little easier on them, make it a little easier on you, here's what you do. WKF.com, 1-800-341-ROSE, or walk into one of the locations. Now, they're busy, and they might take you a minute to get to you, but they'll get you out with a fistful of flowers so you can bring them home for Mother's Day. That's what you do. Do not delay. Act now. Operators are standing by. Walter Knoll Florists have been around for a long time. They've been making sure Mother has gotten everything she's needed on Mother's Day. She's your wife. She's your grandmother. She's the mother of your children. What are you doing? Go spend a little money on her. 1-800-341-ROSE or WKF.com. Act now. Walter Knoll wants to be your family florist on Mother's Day.
My name is Dan Head, and I'm the new owner of Patriot Build Sunrooms. We're still a family company with a name trusted by St. Louis for sunrooms for over 40 years. We will continue to proudly serve our loyal customers with beautiful sunrooms as well as expanded offerings like outdoor fireplaces, outdoor grilling centers, and patio covers. Check out our awesome products at our Kirkwood showroom, or give us a call for a free design consultation at 314-822-3232 or online at patriotbuildsstl.com.
At Midland, we know sometimes all it takes is a moment for an idea to spark, or to make it happen, a moment to find your dream, or build one, a moment to start your forever, or at least start planning for it. Whatever moments you have, Midland is here for them and can help you make them. Midland, brighter together. Visit us at midlandsb.com. Midland States Bank is member FDIC.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
Are you or a family member needing to sell your home? Then call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I will buy your home in any condition and always as is. Call me at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. No contingencies, no inspections, just cold hard cash. I'll save you time and money. So make that call now and let me buy your house. RobankProperties.com. That's ROBANG Properties.com.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis.
Meep, meep.
Captain Paul Kopsky in the St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw crash on 64 West at McKnight has been cleared, and we are now accident-free. 55 North is stop and go at Bayless and remains slow until you reach Carondelet. 55 North is also slow from Richardson to 141 and between Butler Hill and 270. 270 North heavy from Doherty Ferry to 64. We have some slow traffic on northbound Tesson Ferry between Wells and Butler Hill. Eastbound 30 is crowded from Ronning to 270 in Fenton. And there's a slowdown in Wentzville on 61 South between Route A and 70. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rockwood School District. Are you looking for a new part-time or full-time job opportunity? Consider Rockwood School District with openings for custodians, cafeteria workers, and groundskeepers with great benefits, competitive pay, and flexible hours. Apply online at rsdmo.org/jobs. That's rsdmo.org/jobs. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, let's talk weather-wise for the next couple of days. Today, 69, maybe even 70. Gorgeous with plenty of sunshine. We'll take it, just like Rose Dalton. She walks in a room, plenty of sunshine. Overnight tonight, low of 51 with some clouds. Tomorrow, 73 with some rain in the afternoon. Saturday, 82. Mother's Day, Sunday, maybe some early morning showers. Otherwise, it's going to be 70 on Sunday. It is 45 right now at 7:32. Back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
This newscast is brought to you by Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man. More than 24 passengers left a cruise ship hit by a deadly hantavirus outbreak on April 24th without contact tracing nearly 2 weeks after the first passenger died on board. The news raised concerns that the virus could spread as travelers returned home, although experts say the risk to the wider public is considered low. A note Jeffrey Epstein's former cellmate claimed he found after the financier's first jail suicide attempt has been made public after it had been sealed and locked in a courthouse vault for nearly 5 years as part of an unrelated legal dispute. A judge released the note Wednesday after the New York Times petitioned last week to unseal it and other documents in a case involving the cellmate Nicholas Tartaglione. Among other things, the note contains the phrase, "Time to say goodbye." In local headlines, testimony is expected to continue today in a lawsuit over the state takeover of the St. Louis Police Department. Jamala Rogers, one of the plaintiffs, testified yesterday that the 2025 legislation, which shifted control to the state, was a breach of trust and not reflective of how democracy works. 2 members of the St. Louis Battlehawks will visit St. Luke's patients and staff today. Spencer Rowland and Sincere Hainsworth, along with mascot Archie, are scheduled to visit with patients and the physical therapy team in the rehab gym from 3 until 5 this afternoon. Are you or a family member turning 65? Are you happy with your current plan? For the right plan, call the Medicare man, Ryan Raphael, at 314-368-6808. 44 degrees. Time now is 7:33. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
All right, it is 7:33, just like she said. Let me tell you about Miller Furniture, Mueller, Miller Furniture. You're looking for the weekend. Mom's always wanted that nice little something, and you can get it at Miller Furniture. Not a bad idea to go check out Miller Furniture, whether it's a nice little coffee table, nice little end table. They like accent pieces. Some women do. And so where do you go and get those accent pieces? I tell you, their Fairview Heights location is full of accent pieces, whether it's a chair, whether it's a sitting table, maybe it's a day couch, right? Those are always good. Lamps, accessories. They got it all at Miller Furniture. They also have the largest selection of mattresses as well. So maybe you're tired of that lumpy mattress you've had for years. Maybe it's time to go and get a new one. Miller Furniture has that as well. They've been doing this for 99 years. From their family to your family, it's all about quality. And when you work for the family business, you support and you honor all the people and all the family members who have come before you. And Miller Furniture, that's what they do. They don't have salespeople. They have interior designers, and that's a big distinction. They've always got sales. Always white glove service. They always will take care of you. They never want to hear anything other than you are 1,000% satisfied. That's what you get when you work for a local and you go and you support a local company like Miller Furniture. So go see for yourself. Fairview Heights, cross street from the mall, Lake St. Louis out at the Meadows, Ellisville on Manchester Road, and their original location in Belleville. 4 area locations. They've always got deals. They can save on the sales tax now through June 1st. They got a sales tax sale going on right now on all in-stock furniture. Go see for yourself. 60-month special financing for those who qualify. Mattress season is upon us. Mother's Day is here. Go see for yourself. Miller Furniture, Mueller, millerfurniture.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
All right, we were talking about the World Cup earlier. The hotels are vacant, the prices are sky high, and apparently security is going to be staggering. Brad Garrett, ABC News, crime and terrorism analyst. Brad, what are we hearing about security?
So first of all, let's start with the sheer volume of places. 10 U.S. host cities, 104 matches, and 16 venues. Now, just think about that, McGraw, about the level of security, just to start with those 16 venues. Then you'd have to go beyond that of where these athletes are staying. And so it ends up being what I would call just a daunting task, because some of these venues, some of these matches are going to have higher level security than others just because of maybe who's playing. Because there's so much, as you well know, so much conflict in the world, people want to use a high-profile event to make a statement. But you're going to see things like levels of security that may equal like the Super Bowl, where what I would call three-tiered security. In other words, you have to go through 3 security checkpoints to get into a match, for starters. Maybe not every one of them, but certain numbers of them. You're going to have things like called AI-driven crowd analytics, which is something nobody's going to see, but it's AI's ability to look at a crowd and tell you, based on density, how many people are there and when the crowd's getting too big. That's the obvious reasons for can law enforcement control. Well, they can't when crowds get to be a certain size. This goes on and on, from fake cyber websites. Apparently, they've detected over 4,000 of them that are fake FIFA, pretending to be FIFA to sell you fake tickets. But we're talking over $1 billion, probably way over $1 billion. And clearly, each venue, their city and county police are going to have to provide a lot of the street aspects of this stuff. Maybe not the close-in security, but big dollar amount, big drain, I think, in my view. Considering all the other bad things that are going on in cities at any given day.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned that. Let's say Kansas City, one of the host sites on the other side of the state. It's not just security in and around the stadium for the game, but then all those people are going to let out into Kansas City in 15 different places, and so you're going to have an elevated people there all over the place partying, having a good time. It's almost impossible to keep all of those places secure with all these levels of security.
There is no doubt. I mean, it's like head scratching. Like, how in the world? I'm sure there are city and county police departments that are going, how in the world are we going to do this compared to what we already have to do every day? As you well know, some of them are understaffed. And so, my big concern is with so many different potential locations that all you need is somebody to figure out one vulnerability to go do something bad. And so we'll see. But it could be a long, hot summer.
The other one, real quick, is Iran is coming to play here in the U.S. You have to wonder that creates all sorts of extra security issues as well.
That'll be the top tier of what the Secret Service provides at, like I mentioned earlier, presidential inauguration, the Super Bowl, a number of other jurisdictions or settings. So, yeah, it's pretty daunting.
Yeah. This drone technology, the drones you think would be able to sort of, what's that for? Just sort of cameras and sort of what are the drones going to do in terms of security for all this stuff?
Well, they talk about what they call counter drone technology. So I think, I'm not an expert on this stuff, but I think that breaks down into jamming the signals. Because if you think about day to day, McGraw, in Iran, in Israel, in Lebanon, people are flying drones in to kill people and blow things up. Why wouldn't somebody try that here? So the feds, I think, are providing anti-drone technology, which is, I think, signal jamming. So if the signal jam, obviously you can't fly the drone.
Got it. Interesting. All right, Brad Garrett, ABC News, crime and terrorism analyst. Keep a good thought and keep your fingers crossed and hope nothing happens. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Brad Garrett here. 741 here, Big 550, KTRS. Let's talk Dents Express. In the parking lot the other day, you've seen these ne'er-do-well kids who are with the shopping carts thinking it's the Indianapolis 500, and all of a sudden, bam, right into your car. Man, we've been there before. How do you get that scratch out? Or what about the grandkids who got the door dings in the car? Yeah, that happens too. Dents Express is where you want to go. Listen, Dents Express has been around for 30 years, just like KTRS. It's a family-run business, and it's all about customer service. Make sure you check out Dents Express. 2 locations, Manchester in Baldwin. Their second location is in St. Charles. They specialize in paintless dent removal, hail damage, and minor collision. They will work with your insurance company. The only thing they need you to do is, one, bring the car in, but bring the car in after you make the appointment. So make the appointment, give them a call, check them out online, dentsexpressstl.com, make an appointment, and then when you're ready, bring the car in. They'll handle everything else. They do offer free estimates. The only thing they ask is that you have an appointment because business is booming because they've gotten such a great response from KTRS listeners. So here's what you do. dentsexpressstl.com. You can thank me later. dentsexpressstl.com.
Hey, it's Heidi Glaus, and I want to remind you to tune in to the Heidi Glaus Show with Bob Ramsey and Josh Gilbert weekdays from 3 to 6. You don't want to miss all the fun. Plus, twice a month, we're joined by Dr. Ravi Johar, the Chief Medical Officer for United Healthcare. Dr. Johar and United Healthcare will keep us informed and educated about everything happening in the healthcare system, plus important facts to keep us healthy. United Healthcare and the Heidi Glaus Show on the Big 550 KTRS.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Drury Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Drury Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call me, Lance Drury in St. Louis, at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Most people think if I name my husband as beneficiary, everything's going to be okay, and that's not necessarily true.
I'm Scott Garcia with Premier Estate and Income Planning.
What am I doing taking care of people after somebody has passed and all the mess that comes with that?
And I'm Jennifer Cermak, Chief Counsel and Estate Planning Attorney of Premier Estate and Income Planning.
No longer is the attorney the gatekeeper to your lives.
Let us show you how to protect your assets, avoid probate, and retire with confidence.
Having an estate plan could be the most important document you could ever have.
The Premier Income and Estate Planning Show. This Saturday at 4 and this Sunday morning at 7 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Kohl's has Mother's Day gifts that feel like a treat because moms deserve something nice. Preferably something that doesn't involve snack duty, carpool, or reminding anyone where their shoes are. Make her day extra special with 15% off all her favorites across the store at Kohl's and Kohls.com. It's just too bad you can't buy her the one thing she really wants, a nap. Select styles, 15% offer ends May 17th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Your St. Louis Battlehawks match up on Friday, May 8th against the Columbus Aviators. Plus, the greatest show on turf will be honored at halftime with Dick Vermeil, Marshall Folk, Mike Jones, and more. That's Friday, May 8th. The Battlehawks and the greatest show on turf. Get your tickets now at UFLBattlehawks.com.
The Big 550.
KTRS, St. Louis.
St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center. Once again, here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, no accidents, but 270 north is very heavy from Gravois all the way to 64. 64-55 west is slow between Tudor and the Poplar Street Bridge in Illinois. 55 north is stop and go at Weber, just north of Bayless. 55 north is also slow between Butler Hill and 270. 64 West busy from Hampton to Big Bend. We have some slow traffic on northbound Tesson Ferry between Wells and Butler Hill. Eastbound 30 is crowded from Ronning to 270 in Fenton. There's a slowdown in Wentzville on 61 South between Route A and 70. And in Illinois, 64 West is congested from US 50 in O'Fallon to 159 due to road work. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Koch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking a mostly sunny afternoon, highs towards that 70-degree mark, then into Friday. First half of the day looking dry, a high of 76. By the afternoon, evening hours, we'll be tracking some scattered showers and storms that'll clear before we head off into Saturday morning. 81 degrees Saturday, looking at a lot of sunshine by Mother's Day Sunday. The first half of the day, going to be tracking some scattered showers that'll clear by the second half, highs towards the lower 70s. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, let's talk Lordos because it's spring season and lots of activities, lots of events going on. You got graduations, you got bar mitzvahs, you've got anniversaries, maybe somebody's getting ready to pop the question. All these things are marked by time. And one of the great things is a piece of jewelry, right? Because that sort of marks the time. Grandma, grandsons, moms, dads, right? Kids, aunts and uncles, right? They give a nice little something. Well, where do you go to get that stuff? You go to Lordo's Diamonds. It's a family jeweler, and they've been well respected and well trusted for 70-plus years. Earrings, necklaces, bracelets, you name it, they've got it at Lordo's. Men's jewelry, men's watches, women's watches, all sorts of beautiful jewels and diamonds and necklaces and one-of-a-kind stuff. All of it you can find at Lordo's Diamonds. What's if you want to repurpose something that Grandma gave you from years ago? Yeah, you can do that too at Lordo's. Every single day people come in with, I got this and I want to turn it into this. I had this and it broke. Can we fix this? Yeah, they do that every single day at Lordo's Diamonds. It's a family jeweler. And with all the things that are changing in the world, the one thing that has remained constant is jewelry stores. You go and buy and deal with it with a local jeweler. You're not going to go do whatever you need to do on Amazon. It doesn't really. You're not going to go to GameStop to get your jewelry fixed. You're going to go to Lordo's in the heart of Ladue on Clayton Road. 314-432-8008. Lordo's or LordosDiamonds.com.
Hi, St. Louis. This is Ben Barnett with Timberline Tree Care. I'm really excited to announce another reason why we should be taking care of your trees. Timberline is now the only tree care provider anywhere to offer full-spectrum tree maintenance programs that are fully guaranteed. Here's how it works. You call Timberline and an ISA-certified arborist will meet you at your home. We will develop a plan that includes soil testing and amendment, fertilization, any necessary pesticide applications, and annual inspections by an ISA-certified arborist. But here's the best part. Maintenance pruning of your tree is included in this plan. And in the unlikely event that your tree dies while under our care, we will remove it for free. All you have to do is call us and sign up for the plan. We will take care of literally everything from there. There's no obligation, and you can cancel at any time. For tree care that is guaranteed, call Timberline Professional Tree Care at 636-479-7475 or find out more at stltreecare.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
When you're injured, everything changes. The stress, the bills, the uncertainty. One call changes it all. Underlaw.
They step in, they take on the fight, and they don't back down. You can count on Onderlaw. Onder wins.
At Onderlaw, they've recovered over $5 billion for their clients. No surprises, no hidden fees, just results.
Online at onderlaw.com. Onder wins.
We hear so much about quality time, but it's the quantity of time that we want. Every member of the family gets enlisted in so many activities. As quality time usurps quantity, there's so little time to enjoy the freedoms that make America the envy of the world. If we could only unplug, disengage, and spend quantity time together, well, we can, in an RV. Escape into a whole new world in a Byerly RV.
Byerly RV.
Wherever you go, you're always at home in a Byerly.
Hey, St. Louis, temperatures are rising, and if your AC isn't blowing cold enough, trust the experts at AAA Home Services. For 56 years, they've been fixing it right the first time. Our expert technicians are qualified to work on any system with any issue. We can even perform your annual maintenance on your air conditioner before it gets too hot. And if you need an estimate on a new system, we can do that too. For 56 years, St. Louis has trusted AAA for heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repair needs. Call 636-397-3200. Online at AAASTL.com. Call AAA. We're on our way.
All right, 20 seconds on the clock. We asked 100 car shoppers, what's the best car dealership in St. Louis?
HW Kia.
Lowest prices on new Kias?
HW Kia.
Who gives you up to $4,000 more for your trade?
HW Kia.
Best service department?
HW Kia.
Best radio show in St. Louis?
That's Big D from HW Kia.
Survey says all 5 number 1 answers. Turns out there's no feud when the answer is always HW Kia. Right now, drive a brand new 2026 Kia K4 for just $199 a month on a 36-month lease. HW Kia's lenders are ready to help you get approved today. HW Kia in the heart of West County on Manchester Road. And remember, Big D wants to see ya in an HW Kia. Start now at hwkia.com. With approved credit, $34.95 to its own. 10,000 miles per year, no security deposit. Plus tax, title, license, and admin fee expires 5/31/27.
Hi, it's Frank Cusimano inviting you to join me for the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to interview some of the biggest names in sports and have our opening monologue. That's the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
Blair, Tootie. Who was Mindy Cohn? What was her name?
Natalie.
Thank you.
And don't forget Joe.
And Joe. Yeah.
Joe Polnicek.
Yeah.
And don't forget the first season, you had Molly, who was Molly Ringwald.
Oh, is that right?
And Sue Ann from St. Louis, played by Julie.
Oh,
Julie's
right.
from St. Louis, still lives here.
Good to know. We see. Interesting. 7:53 here, Big 550 KTRS. All right, let's talk about this real quick, since it's theme show Thursday here. So we gambling machines, right? We know that they've been put on hold. They've been unplugged because Catherine Hanaway came to town, and you don't mess with Catherine Hanaway. Well, listen to this. They wanted to legalize them down in Jefferson City. A Senate committee yesterday rejected the right to pass the House, has to go to the Senate, went to the Senate, and the Senate yesterday rejected the plan to tax and regulate the video gambling machines, basically killing the idea of legalizing the illegal gambling machines, which people were convinced were legal. Rather than let the matter die without a vote, Senate President, Republican, Cindy O'Loughlin made a point to put it before her Select Committee on Gambling and called for a vote. It was voted on unanimously. All voted against legalizing the gambling machines. She was quoted in the Post-Dispatch as saying, "My personal feeling is that if we're going to have gambling machines in every gas station and grocery store, it's bad for our society. All you have to do is look it. All you have to do is kind of look it up and see all the young men are addicted to gambling on sports betting. I'm worried about dysfunctional families. I'm worried that all this adds up." So there you go. We know that they had to unplug the games, and as of right now, they're illegal. They've been told to come and pick them up, and Catherine Hanaway is well on her way to cleaning this up. But the state legislature, our representatives in state government, unanimously voted against legalizing these gambling machines. It's interesting. Because I don't think this issue is going away anymore, because they're saying that they could generate $300 million in tax revenue in the state which is a lot of money. Now, some of these people who are gambling at the gas station, right, or the bar, can, I guess, now go to a casino and gamble. So it's not like you can't gamble. But will less people gamble because there are less machines? Probably, I guess. Maybe will more people gamble because they can go to the casinos? I don't know. But they're saying that if you legalize these machines, they could generate $300 million in tax revenue. Remember, they're trying to find tax revenue any way they can because they want to do away with the income tax. And so maybe you reduce our income tax and then tax all these gambling machines. So I don't think this is going away anytime soon. Stephen Weber, quoted in the Post-Dispatch, he's a Democrat from Columbia who sits on the gambling committee. I've become increasingly concerned with gambling. I am sympathetic to the revenue argument, but at some point, the state can't be built on sin taxes. So the illegal gambling machines, which people argued were legal, have been unplugged by Catherine Hanaway, and now the state says, nope, we're not going to pass anything to make them legal. So interesting turn of events here as the Senate rejects the plan to legalize those gas station slot machines. They're legal in Illinois, not legal in Missouri. 7:57 here, Big 550 KTRS. St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw 270 North is very heavy from Gravois to Manchester. 6455 West is slow between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. 55 North stop and go at Bayless. 55 North is also slow between Butler Hill and 270. 64 West is busy from Hampton to Big Bend. Eastbound 30 is crowded from Ronning to 270 in Fenton. And between LaKenney and Summit in Murphy, there's a slowdown in Wentzville on 61 South between Route A and 70. And in Illinois, 64 West is congested from US 50 in O'Fallon to 159. This traffic report is brought to you by the St. Louis Battlehawks. Your St. Louis Battlehawks match up on Friday, May 8th against the Columbus Aviators. Plus, the greatest show on turf will be honored at halftime with Dick Vermeil, Marshall Falk, Mike Jones, and more. That's Friday, May 8th, the Battlehawks and the greatest show on turf. Get your tickets now at uflbattlehawks.com. That's uflbattlehawks.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, we just found out that Catherine Hanaway, the Attorney General of the great state of Missouri, is going to be joining us on Monday at 8 o'clock. So there you go. So tune in for that. That should be always entertaining and interesting. 7:58 here, Big 550 KTRS. Weather, we're going to be in the 70s today. We might touch 70. Tonight, overnight, 51 is the low. Tomorrow, afternoon showers, 73. Saturday, we're in the 80s. And then Sunday, we get some showers in the morning for Mother's Day. Little morning dew for you on Mother's Day. And then a high of 70 on Sunday. Let's talk about Stuart at Stuart's American Mortgage. Stuart called me up yesterday. He's going to be on the show on Monday, too. Listen to this. He said that he's got a deal for you for new buyers. This isn't for refinance, but new buyers. For the first 12 months, he's going to lower the interest rate by 1 percentage point. So if you get a 6.5% interest rate, he'll drop it down to 5.5 for the first 12 months. That's a pretty good deal. It also comes with the bagel loan. What are you doing? Call Stuart, whether you're financing, refinancing, or financing that new house. 314-324-4440 or stewartsamc.com.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Sources say the U.S. has sent a memo of understanding to Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and restart talks to curb Iran's nuclear program. President Trump yesterday says he thinks they're close.
They want to make a deal. We've had very good talks over the last 24 hours, and it's very possible that we'll make a deal.
But Iran is keeping the pressure on with its blockade in the Strait of Hormuz, with gas prices at 4-year highs. The Justice Department, along with the Commodities Future Trading Commission, now probing at least 4 suspiciously timed oil market trades during the Iran war. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has more.
Starting on March 23rd, data from the London Stock Exchange shows just 15 minutes before Trump posted that he would delay attacking Iran's power grid, traders bet $500 million that oil prices would fall. On April 7th, a few hours before Trump announced the ceasefire, fire, nearly $1 billion in bets on oil dropping. Similar pattern on April 17th, $760 million in trades just 20 minutes before Iran announced that the Strait of Hormuz was open.
President Trump's proposed ballroom facing new backlash over its ballooning budget.
Amid intensifying public scrutiny of the emerging proposal, top officials now say the $1 billion wouldn't just fund security of the new ballroom, but also go toward other critical needs. A letter to Capitol Hill from Homeland Security Secretary Markwayne Mullin and Secret Service Director Sean Curran doesn't spell out how much of the $1 billion in taxpayer dollars would be spent specifically on the ballroom, but they also point to plans to secure other frequently visited venues, to enhance training, and to secure high-profile national events.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. New government figures showing more Americans filed for first-time jobless benefits in the past week.
10,000 more out-of-work Americans made their first application for jobless benefits in the week leading up to May 2nd. The number has remained stubbornly above 200,000 for 4 years, and that's where it was pegged in the Labor Department's most recent reading.
ABC's Jim Ryan. You're listening to ABC News.
This has been the talk of St. Louis for 30 years, and we aren't stopping now. We are the Big 550, KTRS St. Louis. Depend on it.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Hello, everybody. I'm Scott Jacob.
And I'm Beth Jacob. We're the owners of Jacob Showers and Baths, local family-owned company in business for nearly half a century. We specialize in helping seniors age in place with bath and shower designs that are both safe and aesthetically pleasing.
We use a composite material that looks and feels like luxury stone. Come visit our showrooms in Fenton or Fairview Heights.
Mention the McGraw Special or select the McGraw Show from the drop-down menu on the website. Our phone, 800-222-6676, or visit us online at jacobbaths.com.
Gelmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Gelmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
47 degrees at 8:04. Here's what's happening now. A former MICDS high school basketball coach is facing 7.5 years in prison for sending sexually explicit photos to students. That sentence was handed down yesterday to 29-year-old Lee Bogan Jr. Prosecutors say Bogan admitted to sending explicit photos of himself to minors and also expressed sexual interest in students. He will be on supervised release for the rest of his life after his sentence. St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer has a new plan for the Rams settlement money. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch reports that draft legislation shows $65 million would be used on the city's water system, streets, and sidewalks, and $55 million toward a package of downtown initiatives, including riverfront improvements, retail incentives, and the purchase of large vacant buildings. State lawmakers passed a $48.7 billion operating budget for fiscal year 2027. The Senate passed all of the bills that make up the budget just after 8 last night. These budget bills also add an additional $2 billion for construction projects in addition to state operating expenses, leading to a total figure of $50.7 billion for the next fiscal year. The budget is now before Governor Mike Kehoe for review. Meanwhile, Governor Kehoe signed 8 bills into law yesterday. These include Senate Bill 907, which establishes the Act Against Abusive Website Access litigation. Kehoe also signed Senate Bill 982, which modifies provisions relating to the sex offender registry. And MoDOT has released the draft of its statewide transportation improvement program, which now kicks off a public review and comment period. Details from KTRS's Steve Potter.
The program details road and bridge construction projects proposed for the next 5 years. One of the projects that affects many St. Louis area residents is the Improve I-70 program that constructs, reconstructs, and rehabilitates the highway on nearly 200 miles of that corridor, which includes adding a third lane in each direction between Warrenton and Wentzville. This is just part of the statewide transportation improvement plan, and the public now has until June 5th to comment on any of the other proposed projects. After that, those comments will be presented to the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for review, and then final decisions will be made by the Commission at its July 1st meeting. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
The Teamsters have gone on strike against Breakthrough Beverages in St. Louis. Union leaders say the company rejected key proposals centered on worker protections, fair compensation, and solidarity rights. One of the major sticking points has been the company's failure to agree to contract wording that would ensure that Teamsters members aren't forced to cross other unions' lawful picket lines. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Noel Flores, a place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 47 degrees. Time now is 8:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Thank you, Rose Dalton. Hey, let's have a fun conversation with one of the good ones, President of Catholic Charities, Jared Bryson. Jared, welcome back to the Big 550 KTRS.
Great to be here. Thanks, McGraw.
You were here a year ago, just as the tornadoes hit, and you guys are big on the front lines with stuff like this. Give us a sense of, I know what Catholic Charities does, but give a sense to people what Catholic Charities does and how you guys exist.
Yeah, so for us, we are a womb to tomb type of organization. We take care of the needs of those most marginalized and find themselves in critical places in their lives. In particular, around the tornado, we are not just an immediate response, but we are a long-term recovery organization. So we stay with them all the way through to recovery, so several years in this process.
Yeah, you guys help support many local charities, right? You guys have a lot of charities all throughout the spectrum, all throughout stages of life.
Yep.
Helping
From St.
out.
Patrick's Center, Cardinal Ritter Senior Services, Queen of Peace, all of the
big and small.
Big and small. That's right. Yeah.
Talk about the tornado specifically, because it's been a year, and I'm sure it's strained some of your resources. But what have you seen, and what have you been able to do?
Yeah, so that transition from immediate response to a longer term recovery is where we're at right now. So for us, we've moved from 97 houses that we were working through to 179 since just January. It's a long process to try and go through assessments. 137 direct clients for us, and about 22 to 2,300 folks that we've kind of impacted as a part of the work. Completed, we've done 383 home visits. Now, this is in support of those families. Those assessments take a lot of time to get in and try to figure out how much we can really kind of do, and then working through that recovery process itself. So it's pretty huge. And then there's 43 or 4, something like that, active construction case things we're doing right now in recovery. And then, of course, more active case management, trying to help move people through that. And let's say there were 9 completed so far of impacted households. It just takes a really long time. I heard one person say to me, there are not enough bricklayers in 5 states to help us recover sometimes. So it's a slow process to really move through that.
Well, look, if you look at this, you have a block that was already in disrepair. You had either vacant lots or houses that were boarded up, and then you have 2 or 3 or 4 houses that are functioning as homes.
Yeah.
They couldn't get insurance even if they had it. It's worth maybe $10,000 on the open market. To rebuild that house is going to cost you $300,000. So what happens now with a house that wasn't insured? Where do these people go? How do they rebuild?
Yeah.
There's no economic incentive to rebuild because there was none there to begin with.
Yeah, and that's been a challenge to try and help bring that back. So we've partnered with MHDC and others to really try to help find and repair housing. So like there's been $35,000 that we give to folks for moving costs. So if they've got to move somewhere else, they've got to move back, or and we've done about $120,000 in just home repairs for a house. I mean, just to get one back in there, as averaging out that way. And then MHDC has allocated about $156,000 that we're using per house on additional funding that we're kind of walking through on that. So that immediate assistance, we have hotel stays because we've got to put them up somewhere. That's about $700 that we're kind of working through that. Other gift cards for essentials because they've lost other things. We have a house-to-home program that we're doing right now in which people can adopt a family And as we move them back into their house and kind of walk through that process to get it stable, the house is stable, they can move back in. They may not have furniture. They may have lost a lot of things from the kitchen or whatever. So really trying to adopt a family that can help re-anchor them. And then, of course, that seasonal support. They went through Christmas. They went through a lot. And how do we really help some of the kids in some of the neighborhoods recover? So we're dedicating a lot of our resources just to one neighborhood because it's a pretty massive swath of folks. But we're looking at one neighborhood at a time and then trying to move from there. And then that one neighborhood's taken a lot of time for us.
Are you getting any help from the feds or the state with some of this stuff?
So we get support in a way that is not financial at this point in time. We have some help from the United Way on our work for case management. MHDC at the state level helps a little bit in the repair side, but it's pretty limited right now in how we're walking through that.
How do you keep the faith? Because it's a never-ending hole, right? I mean, it's the more you do, the more is needed.
Yeah, one of the biggest challenges in this work of Catholic Charities is there's always more need. Like we've went from serving 92,000 a year to 122,000 a year, and that was not tornado related. It can be a challenging day sometimes to see people constantly at their worst and their lowest. But what keeps the faith and keeps hope for me is that when we journey with each person that comes through our doors and helps us out, and we see them start to make progress, you got to keep focused on that. There's a lot going on in the environment that has a negative impact. But walking through a family, getting them back in a house, making them
so the individual success stories really keeps your
really
faith.
Help. That helps out a lot.
Yeah. How can people help for STL Giving Day?
Yeah, so for us, the recovery still continues, and we have a limited funds that we're really kind of working to try to help get people back on their feet. We are asking folks to volunteer their time, come adopt a family, give generously, both of your time and your talent, and of course, some treasure would be helpful to help us redo that. So then just go to ccstl.org. They can talk to our volunteer folks, and we can get them connected up with our programs.
Talk about the Adopt a Family. What does that entail? How does that work?
Yeah, so it's for our House to Home program. As we move people back in to their house, they may have lost. If their house has been all opened up, it's ruined.
Right.
There's a lot of. So we've got to help them replenish things, and they may not have had the means to do that. So House to Home, we're getting people to adopt the family. And then they'll buy bedding, beds, whatever they need to try and get their life to be back and stable in that place.
Right. Beautiful. All right, good. Jared, for people to find out more and for people to help, where do they go?
Go to ccstl.org.
That is Jared Bryson, President and CEO of Catholic Charities. While you're helping out all of the tornado victims, the other needs continue.
They still continue.
It isn't like they stop.
Affordable housing, mental health. Food security has really risen. Insecurity has really risen in our community. It's a constant need for that. And then workforce development as we continue that, because trying to find workers to do some of this has really been a challenge.
And you always need volunteers.
Always need volunteers.
But Jared Bryson, one of the good ones, President and CEO of Catholic Charities. Jared, thanks for coming in.
Hey, thanks, McGraw.
All right, 7:14 here. Make it 7:15. Let's check traffic and weather. Captain Paul, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Take it away.
McGraw, the on-ramp from Dorset to 270 North is partially blocked by emergency vehicles. 270 North is also heavy in patches from Gravois to Manchester. The worst of it is around Gravois, further north at 44, and from Doherty Ferry to Manchester. 6455 West is slow between Tudor and the Poplar Street Bridge. 55 North, stop and go at Weber, which is just north of Bayless. 64 West is busy from Hampton to Big Bend. 64 East bogs down around 170. 64 East also slow between 70 and Lake St. Louis Boulevard. There's a slowdown in Wentzville on 61 South between Route A and 70. And in Illinois, 64 West is congested from US 50 in O'Fallon to 159. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Koch with your first alert forecast. Going to be a beautiful afternoon, mostly sunny skies. Temperatures closing in towards that 70-degree mark, falling just short. Then into Friday. First half of the day looking dry, highs towards the mid-70s. By the afternoon, evening, and early overnight hours, we'll be tracking some scattered showers and storms. Can't rule out the possibility for some little bit of hail in that. By Saturday, we're clear, mostly sunny skies, a high of 81. The first half of Sunday, Mother's Day, looking at some scattered showers that'll look to clear by the afternoon hours. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for the Big 550 KTRS.
Tune in Mondays to the Frank and Jill Show for Success St. Louis style as they feature a St. Louis and making a difference in our community. Brought to you by the St. Louis Chess Club.
Building champions in the classroom and the community. Online at stlouischessclub.org.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
From planning to planting, growing to harvesting, FS is with you every step of the way. Our team has the latest seed genetics, field-tested hybrids, proven chemistries, plant performance products, and premium fuels and lubricants to help you maximize yield and minimize downtime. Whatever you need, whenever you need it, FS is your trusted business partner. Visit fscooperatives.com to learn how we can support your farming operation from start to finish.
It's Jill Farmer. Medicare is overwhelming. Parts, plans, deadlines. It's a lot. That's why so many of you turn to Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man. Ryan breaks Medicare down in plain English, helps you compare options, and make sure you're not overpaying or undercovered. No pressure, no confusion, just clear guidance from someone who actually cares. If you're turning 65, already on Medicare, or helping a parent navigate it all, start with someone you can trust. For the right plan, call a Medicare man. 314-368-6808, MedicareManSTL.com.
To show our appreciation for everything military service members do for our country, Auto House BMW offers up to $5,000 toward a new BMW purchase for veterans, active military, military families, and first responders. During the Power the Mission sales event, everyone enjoys rates starting at 1.99% APR, great lease and purchase credits, and we'll donate $50 for every purchase to Team Red, White, and Blue, an organization supporting veterans. We're proud to be part of this mission and hope you'll join us at Auto House BMW.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, it's Die Hard Day here on the Big 550 KTRS. It's 8:20. Let's check in with Antonio French, St. Louis Post-Dispatch columnist. Good morning, Antonio French.
Hey, good morning.
All right, so Kara Spencer, the great mayor of the city of St. Louis, has put out a proposal to spend some of the Rams money. Have you had a chance to look at it, and what do you think?
Yeah. So I guess she's proposing splitting this up into three pots and being able to take care of service three of the city's biggest issues, which, of course, is downtown, the tornado recovery, especially those areas hit hard in North St. Louis, and the long-term issue that we've been putting off for decades, which is deferred maintenance on the city's water system. All three of them have big price tags. So you got a pot of money that people think is big, but once you start splitting it up and trying to address three huge issues, you'll find out how little that money actually is.
It's interesting because the water situation is one that's pressing, that's now starting to get a little bit of attention for all sorts of reasons. But talk about the water plan, because that is no one likes to pay for water infrastructure, but if nothing's done, there's some really bad stuff come down the pike if that water isn't taken care of.
Yeah. As you can imagine, a big infrastructure system like that, requires millions and millions of dollars every year just to maintain it. And with inflation and deferred maintenance, et cetera, the water department has been asking for rate increases for years. I mean, going back to when I was on the board of aldermen, they were asking for rate increases. And politicians don't like to raise people's bills, and this seemed to be one that they could kick down the can and continue not to raise. And when it comes time for tax increases or bond issues, of course, the water department was asking for tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, and that got pushed down on the priority list, especially in the case of, you're looking at money for firefighters and police department equipment. And so we just keep pushing it away. And the water department now is telling you we are approaching an emergency situation. Okay, so if you don't want to see streets continue to collapse because of giant water main breaks under them, if you don't want to see us get to a situation like we've seen before, where sometimes some of this damage results in parts of the city not having water for a while until it's repaired, they're sounding the alarm that they have to get some money in order to fix some of these things, or it's going to be a real problem down the road. And it's a big, expensive bill now. And even this, I think, is just going to be a drop in the bucket towards addressing what they say are all the needs that they have to address immediately.
Remember that story a couple of years ago? It was by Turtle Park over there by the St. Louis Zoo on Highway 40. The water main broke, and it was so bad it shut down Highway 40. I think it was for a day or two or something.
Yeah, we've seen things like that over the years downtown and in different neighborhoods. So, I used to sit on the Public Utility Committee, and, we had tours of the facilities, and every time they sell us, we really need some money, guys. We're kind of keeping this together with duct tape in some places. We need real capital investment in this system. And again, it's just one of those things that is easy to ignore because it works. It always works, right? Well, they're telling you one day it's not going to work.
Yeah. It was also a city built for 1 million people. There's now 300,000 people. So maintaining a water system for 1 million people when you're serving 300,000 people with no rate increases, you can see how the problem gets. Let's talk about data centers and all this, because some people are sort of floating the idea, hey, you know what? If we invest in these data centers, that could be a tax windfall that could help solve some of these water problems.
Yeah, the idea that the city would invest in, especially like invest raw money into a data center, I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, I mean, allowing them to sort of show up and work and be in the city.
Yeah. There's supposedly hundreds of millions of dollars there in potential revenue and in a long-term tax revenue. I'm not exactly sure the mechanism about how the city recoups these taxes, but there's definitely mechanisms that we use in terms of like tax abatement, TIFs, et cetera, giving tax incentives. And the city does have a lot of large buildings that need something to happen in them. The Armory, of course, is the current example. The problem I think right now is that people are just afraid. They're afraid in general of AI, and they're afraid now of what they're hearing in terms of these data centers' effects on local communities. So I think the number one thing that has to happen, either the city has to lead it or either these private developers have to lead it, is a public education campaign here. You got to really tell people, what are we signing up for? Because they are afraid. They think that if these data centers come into their communities, all of a sudden we're going to have energy crisis. They're going to have higher electric bills, which nobody wants right now. And so I think it really comes down to just explaining what you're trying to do. If you're going to partner with the city and you're going to partner with city taxpayers, be a good partner and explain to them, what they're signing up for. And I don't think that's happened yet.
Yeah. They did sign off on the Armory. And I was just there was some backlash, but I don't know if there was a whole lot of backlash from that Armory being turned into a data center.
Well, if you go online, it's a lot of people, upset at the mayor in particular. And then doing as we always do, unfortunately, is kind of demonize these developers. A lot of times these developers actually, putting their own money at risk. They're trying to do a project that, frankly, they could probably do somewhere else. So the idea that they would even try to deal with all that you have to deal with in order to do business in the city of St. Louis right now, these aren't bad guys. But again, I just think it's a case that people don't really understand what is happening and doesn't understand the effect, good or bad. And maybe there are some negative effects, and if there are, we just need to come clean now before it's discovered down the road.
$230 million she's proposing to use of the Rams money. $110 million to rebuild the north side after the tornadoes. $65 million for the water system. $55 million for downtown initiatives, and they would hold $25 million in reserves. You think that's got a shot to get through the Board of Aldermen?
Maybe. Maybe. The Board of Aldermen, the makeup of the Board of Aldermen right now is still pretty left-leaning. You've got the president there, Megan Green, and several of her allies down there that, anything that they see that goes towards private investment or, downtown or developers, anything like that, they usually have a negative opinion about it and make it a little difficult to pass. I will say this, though, is that the real concern to me is that these large pots of money, be the federal money on one hand and the Rams money on the other hand, it's a very rare opportunity that the city has to have a big pot of money. And you got to be able to make a smart investment. And you got to be real and honest. And I think, anytime we're talking about just giving money or just throwing money down a much bigger hole, is not as attractive as any money that we can invest that can make more money. And so, there was a proposal some years ago that and the previous mayor did not agree to it, but, it was a proposal to use some of that money downtown, and it would be matched dollar for dollar by downtown organizations. So you invest 50, it actually get $100 million. I think I wonder if that's still on the table. I hope the mayor is asking, is that still on the table? We love that.
Can we go back and do that deal again? But there's something to be said for the COVID money that was never used. Why didn't they use that for the water system? Why would they, if this water system was in such bad shape and you had this pot of federal money, why didn't they at least use that for the water?
Yeah, there are some limitations, that you can use certain money from. I don't know if that money could be used on infrastructure. There are other things that it could be used for. There's no limitations on this RAM money, not really. We can use it on whatever we want to use it. And then we still have that federal money that we're sitting on. It has been frustrating to watch the inability of City Hall to get this money out the door. This money has been sitting here for years now, and it's not like there's any shortage of St. Louis problems. It's just been an inability to either, compromise or cooperate, either one. But that this money has just been sitting here for years has been frustrating. So, getting it out the door is progress. Is it being spent exactly as some of us would want? Maybe not, but I think it's better than just sitting there and not doing anything.
Compromising, not a good word when it comes to a legislative body. Finding agreement, finding common ground, nope, that's bad news, Antonio French. We'll leave it there. STLtoday.com. Thanks, Antonio. Good stuff. Have yourself a good weekend.
Thanks. Have a good one.
8:30 here, Big 550 KTRS. St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw traffic is quieting down now here at 8:30. 270 north is still heavy, though, from Doherty Ferry to Manchester. 55 north running without delays in South City. 64 west is busy from Hampton to Big Bend. 64 east bogs down around 170. 170 South is crowded between Brentwood Boulevard and 64. And in Illinois, 64 West is a little slow from US 50 in O'Fallon to 159. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
48 degrees here at the Big 550 KTRS, all the way up to 69, 70 degrees. We'll go there. 48 degrees. 8:31. Let's go to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio discussed efforts to achieve a durable peace in the Middle East in talks at the Vatican today. The talks were aimed at easing tensions following U.S. President Donald Trump's criticism of Pope Leo XIV. Officials and experts in Argentina are scrambling to figure out if their country is the source of a deadly hantavirus outbreak that has gripped an Atlantic cruise. Argentina is consistently ranked by the World Health Organization as having the highest incidence of the rare rat-borne disease in Latin America. In local headlines, parking fees will be increasing at Lambert Airport. The City Commission voted to raise parking rates due to rising operational and maintenance costs. And SSM Health and the St. Louis Area Food Bank are teaming up to hold a drive-through food giveaway today. It will be held in the parking lot of St. Mary's Hospital beginning at 9 this morning. 50 degrees. Time now is 8:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Hey, what does the St. Louis Science Center, Lambert Airport, the Magic House, Convention Center, McDonnell Douglas all have in common? Well, here's one of the things they have in common. When they needed somebody to fix their roof, they all settled on Beatty Roofing. Beatty Roofing was founded in 1954. Think about that for a second. 1954. They're now in their third generation of Beatty's, and they've been they started off as a commercial roofing company. Now, of course, they're getting into residential. And so if you can trust them with the airport and the convention center and McDonnell Douglas, I think we can trust them with our very own home. 70-plus years, Beatty Roofing has been in existence. They are not storm chasers. They do not come from out of town. They all live here. They all play here. They all give back here. You can call Matt Beatty, and you can get anything you needed done, taken care of. They have project managers on site for every single residential job. What does that mean? The crew isn't there by themselves. They have a project manager who oversees everything because they want to guarantee your roof is taken care of. It's all cleaned up afterwards. It's done on time. It comes in under budget, and they manage the job from start to finish. That's what you get when you get a commercial company doing residential, right? Because commercial companies, they have to placate and make sure the big boys are happy. So when McDonnell Douglas is happy, right? If they're doing that to the level for McDonnell Douglas, that's in their DNA, and that's what they can do for homeowners. Listen to this. First responders get an extra 10% off roofs just for calling Beatty Roofing. 70-plus years here in St. Louis for all of your roofing needs. Beatty Roofing, 314-892-1331 or BeattyRoofing.com.
Mizzou football will be here before you know it. Join us for the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium with season tickets. Join the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist and get ready to lock in tickets for 2026. The home schedule is highlighted by games against Florida, Texas A&M, Texas, Kentucky, and Oklahoma. Don't wait to reserve your spot. Join the waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
Mike Lippert here for Lisi Lumber, a family-owned company that's been serving the area since 1872. You've heard McGraw mention our knowledgeable staff, excellent customer service, and the best of woods. We're now producing and delivering custom prefabricated trellises, pavilions, and pergolas. Union-made, union-delivered. Homeowners and do-it-yourselfers are going to love these. Got an idea? Send a sketch and some dimensions and we'll take care of the rest. For the best of woods and prefabricated outdoor dreams, call Lee C. Lumber 234-0105 or LeeCLumber.com.
Hey, St. Louis, temperatures are rising, and if your AC isn't blowing cold enough, trust the experts at AAA Home Services. For 56 years, they've been fixing it right the first time. Our expert technicians are qualified to work on any system with any issue. We can even perform your annual maintenance on your air conditioner before it gets too hot. And if you need an estimate on a new system, we can do that too. For 56 years, St. Louis has trusted AAA for heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repair needs. Call 636-397-3200. Online at AAASTL.com. Call AAA. We're on our way.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Kohl's has Mother's Day gifts that feel like a treat because moms deserve something nice. Preferably something that doesn't involve snack duty, carpool, or reminding anyone where their shoes are. Make her day extra special with 15% off all her favorites across the store at Kohl's and Kohls.com. It's just too bad you can't buy her the one thing she really wants, a nap. Select styles, 15% off or ends May 17th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Stan Musial, he missed a season in his prime to serve his country in the Navy.
Honor a legend on Saturday, May 16th when the Cardinals face the Kansas City Royals. Fans can secure a Stan Musial military bobblehead presented by Coca-Cola and Deerbirds. This patriotic collectible celebrates Stan's Hall of Fame career and his service to our country. A true symbol of character on and off the field. A tribute worth displaying and remembering. Don't miss it. Get tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
Paging all nurses and healthcare heroes. This night is for you. Join the Cardinals for Nurses Appreciation on Wednesday, May 20th and Thursday, May 21st at Busch Stadium. With a special theme ticket, you'll receive a healthcare-inspired Cardinals sweatshirt plus a coupon for a complimentary drink. It's our way of saying thank you for all that you do in our community. Don't miss the special theme at the ballpark. Details and tickets at cardinals.com/theme.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS. It's now time for the Press Box with Frank Cusimano on the McGraw-Millhaven Show on the Big 550 KTRS, powered by Walter Knoll Florist. We know flowers.
Don't look now, but your St. Louis Billikens are killing it in the offseason. They're winning the offseason. They're winning the recruiting wars. Let's talk about it with Frank Cusimano, Channel 5 sports director and host here at the Big 550 KTRS. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, McGraw. Hope you're doing well.
We're doing good. What do we know about St. Louis University Billikens?
Well, there is a college basketball analyst by the name of Jeff Goodman, who's one of the best in the business. And just yesterday, he came out with a ranking of schools who did the best from the portal on. And he ranked SLU third in the country. And his ranking comes down to this. Number one, and most importantly, they kept their coach. I mean, he could have gone to Syracuse. He could have gone to NC State, and Josh Hurts is going to remain with the Billikens. Number two is they got two bigs out of the portal that are going to be factors, one from Colorado and another from South Carolina, Elijah Strong. And number three, and this may actually be most importantly, is they kept 5 of the 6 who could have left. That doesn't happen in college basketball. And number 4, they picked up 2 really fine high school players from the area who are going to be factors in this great Billiken developmental system. And, this is big because they wouldn't have gotten these kinds of high school players like Jamison White, who is really good, and Sheik Pearson, 6'11", who spent last year at Marquette.
Yeah, so this is all because of NIL money. So somebody is footing the bill, or the SLU Billiken boosters have really answered the call, and the checks are flowing and the money's going so that they can buy these players, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point, McGraw. I'm not saying that they have more money than, say, like a Kentucky, but all you have to do is go to Shavitz and look at the people sitting on the front row, and then Wikipedia them or Google them and say, net worth of this man. You got a lot of guys who are worth a lot of money sitting front row at Billiken games.
And, years ago you would say, oh, is SLU buying these players? And that was a negative. Oh, my goodness, I can't believe you were saying that. And why are you disparaging? We play by the rules. But now those are the rules. And these money guys, these boosters, are now being called and bragging about, oh, hey, yeah, no. Did you see the story where Mark Cuban was talking about, went to Indiana, told the story the other day about they called him up and said, hey, we have this quarterback coming in, Mendoza. He's really, really good. We need to give him more money. So Mark Cuban sort of filled in the gap and bought him so he could go to Indiana. I mean, this is just, it's just the way of the world now. It seems so weird to talk about, but it's all legal.
It's a great point, too, because, like, last week, Dennis Gates and Eli Drinkwitz met with wealthy Mizzou donors in the area, and they met at a $3 or $4 million home in Ladue. And basically, the talk was, hey, I want to tell you a little bit about our basketball team, and then, oh, by the way, get your checkbooks out. We need it. And what Bill Laurie has done for Dennis Gates, who also had a magnificent recruiting class, high school and the portal, is huge. And so now everybody's talking about more revenue streams. So what did Duke do last week? Well, they went rogue and cut a deal with Amazon Prime to play schools like UConn and Michigan and Xavier. They cut, not that Xavier, but Gonzaga. They cut a 3-game deal where all of a sudden, and I hear the money's like $5 to $6 million, that they have a new revenue stream. And when North Carolina hears about this, they're going to think, why didn't we cut this? And they're eventually going to cut side deals with companies like Amazon Prime to bring in more revenue to buy more players.
You mentioned Bill Laurie. Bill Laurie, the former owner of the St. Louis Blues, Bill Laurie?
Yes, he's become a big basketball backer at the University of Missouri. He and Dennis Gates are extremely close.
All right, good to know. Maybe I should call up Bill Laurie and get to become friends with Bill Laurie. Let's talk Cardinals. They lost a tough one last night to the Brewers, but otherwise, this sure is a fun team to watch.
Yeah, I refuse to say anything negative about the Cardinals. I mean, for them to be 6 games over 500 at this stage is absolutely amazing. And, we thought this was just going to be a year, hey, let's find out about our right fielder. Let's find out if our second baseman is ready. Let's find out if Nolan Gorman can drive in runs, if Michael McGreevy can be a number 2 or 3 starter. Well, we're finding these things out, and, oh, by the way, in the process, we have the 5th best record in the National League, and if the season were to end today, and it rarely does in early May, we would be in the postseason.
Jordan Walker on pace to hit 40 home runs.
It's crazy. He's also on pace to be like a top 5 candidate to win the MVP award. Here's the thing that's so crazy about him is not only is he hitting prolific home runs, but he's playing Gold Glove defense, and he's like one of the fastest players in baseball if you look at those speed rates. I mean, this is a complete player. I'll tell you, McGraw, you're old enough to remember, I think, but the guy that I brought up to Andy Van Slyke the other day is Dave Winfield. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but if you needed a player comp, why not go to another 6'6" stud who played right field and who is athletic as hell?
Yeah, Dave Winfield is a pretty good person to emulate. He was a force of nature. Drafted in basketball and football, right? But ended up playing baseball.
Yeah, 3-sport guy and an absolute stud. And normally your 6'6" guys are like Dave Kingman, like one-tool players, But this guy has got the potential 5 tools. I know it's really early, but I think this kid has figured it out, and it's great to see. He's only like 3 or 4 months older than J.J. Weatherholt, too, so he's amazing.
Who's the restaurant today for the show, Frank?
Paul's Market. I tell you, McGraw, if the world were going to end today, I would do 3 things. I would call like Augusta, Georgia, and say, hey, could I play one round? I'd call Patricia Heaton's publicist. Could I go to dinner one time? And then my third one would be call Paul's Market and just have their burnt ends. It's some of the best tasting food of all time.
All right, so if the season ended today, the Cardinals are in the playoffs, and if the world ended today, we can find Frank at Augusta. All right, good to know.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Frank, have a good drive in. We'll see you at 10.
All right, buddy. See you.
There you go. Frank Cusimano every Thursday, and yet every day here at 10 o'clock. on the Big 550 KTRS. Can I tell you about Rudy Beck? Because if the world ended today, guess what? You better have your finances in order because you want to pass them on to the next generation and avoid the Sandman, avoid the uncle you've never met and you don't really like, Uncle Sam. Here's the deal. Jay Lennox, Carolyn Stolzer, Rudy Beck. They're the well-respected and trusted team of BeckElderLaw.com. There's a lot you have to navigate as mom and dad go into the nursing homes, right? The extended care places. Mom and dad fall down the steps and they hurt their hip, and you've got all sorts to deal with. It's a very, very stressful time. The last thing you want to worry about is all of the paperwork in order. What are we doing with the little bit of nest egg that they have amassed over these years? You want to make sure it's protected. You want to make sure their wishes are carried out. What about the next generation, the kids coming up, right? God forbid something happens tragically. You want to make sure they're taken care of and your wishes are held out. That's why you sit down with Rudy Beck, Jay Lennox, Carolyn Stolzer. They will navigate all this for you. I did it, a year or so ago. I'm so glad. What a peace of mind it is. So it's all buttoned up. It's all ready to go. God forbid something happens. The loved ones in my life are taken care of. This is why you do this. 636-946-7899. This is why we work so hard, is so that we can build up a little nest egg and we can pass it on to the next generation. But you have to pass it on correctly because you want your assets to be taken care of. And that's why Beck Elder Law has got the respect. 50 years. Either side of the river, north, south, east, and west, out in St. Charles. Make an appointment right now. 636-946-7899 or BeckElderLaw.com. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Once again, here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, there's an accident on 270 north before 44 with traffic backed up to Gravois. 270 north is also heavy and slow from Doherty Ferry to Manchester. 64 west is busy from Hampton to Big Bend. 64 east bogs down from 170 to Big Bend. And 170 south is crowded between Brentwood Boulevard and 64. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. Dents Express, STL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Couch with your first alert forecast. We're going to be tracking a mostly sunny afternoon, highs towards that 70-degree mark, then into Friday. First half of the day looking dry, a high of 76. By the afternoon, evening hours, we'll be tracking some scattered showers and storms that'll clear before we head off into Saturday morning. 81 degrees Saturday, looking at a lot of sunshine by Mother's Day Sunday. The first half of the day, we'll be tracking some scattered showers that'll clear by the second half, highs towards the lower 70s. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Conch for the Big 550 KTRS.
STLMedWeightLoss.com. That's the weight loss clinic Dr. Joe set up. You can't make it any easier. You've seen people lose weight. You've seen the stars on TV lose weight. You've seen neighbors. You've seen friends. You've seen coworkers. They've all lost this weight, and they look great. And you think to yourself, why can't I do that? Well, you can, but you got to reach out to Dr. Joe, STLMedWeightLoss.com. He's got introductory prices starting as low as $200 a month. He also has this thing where you can lock in for 6 months, regardless of what dosage, because you usually increase the dosage over the coming weeks. And so he will lock you in for the same price, regardless of the dosage, for 6 months. So you can save some money and lose some weight. Nothing feels as good. Nothing tastes as good as Skinny feels. No insurance headaches, no confusing pricing, no long pharmacy lines. They'll get the medicine sent straight to your front door, and you'll start losing weight. He's had patients who've lost 20 pounds, 30 pounds. He's had patients who's lost over 100 pounds. It works. Make sure you are eligible. Call him, set up an appointment, and then start losing weight. It's as simple as that. He's streamlined the whole process. STLMedWeightLoss.com. STLMedWeightLoss.com.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. You know how spring works in St. Louis. One week you're running the furnace, the next week you're flipping on the air conditioner. It's weather whiplash, and your HVAC system feels it too. That's why spring is the perfect time to have the experts at Premier Heating and Cooling check things out. Their technicians go through 5 years of training, well beyond industry standards. So when they perform a tune-up, they're making sure your system is running safely, efficiently, and ready for whatever the next St. Louis weather swing brings. If your furnace or air conditioner is older or starting to struggle, Premier can help with that too. They offer financing options that make replacing your system far more manageable, and a new unit can mean better comfort and lower energy bills all year long. So whether it's a quick tune-up or time for an upgrade, call the team that knows how to handle St. Louis weather. 636-916-1122, premierheatingcooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Hey, Anne Marie here, host of the Inside Out Show and owner of Anne Marie Design Studio for Black Fox Cooper, St. Louis's premier Anderson certified contractor. That means every window they install meets Anderson's exacting quality standards, and the installation is guaranteed for 2 years, in addition to the 20-year warranty on the glass. With over 20 years of experience and knowing our climate, Black Fox Cooper will install the optimal windows to keep your home comfortable and efficient year-round, and most projects are completed within a day or two with minimal disruption to your daily routine.
Call 314-270-1484 or online at blackboxcooper.com.
At Midland, we know sometimes all it takes is a moment for an idea to spark, or to make it happen, a moment to find your dream, or build one, a moment to start your forever, or at least start planning for it. Whatever moments you have, Midland is here for them and can help you make them. Midland, brighter together. Visit us at midlandsb.com. Midland States Bank is member FDIC.
Hey, it's Heidi, and I feel very lucky to love where I live. And I know Lauren Risley feels the same. And her team at Lauren Risley Realty wants you to experience that same great feeling. One of their mottos at Lauren Risley Realty is love where you live or move. Dream homes are their specialty. Actually, they do a lot of things right, because when you buy or sell a home, it's not just a transaction. What the Lauren Risley team does is build relationships, and I've seen that firsthand. So if you have plans to buy, sell, invest, or just have a question about any of it, call Lauren Risley Realty, 314-775-0684. That's 314-775-0684. You can also email Lauren at hello@laurenrisleyrealty.com.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, it was a couple years ago that we invited our next guest on the show to. It was a woman-owned business, and I think you had one store at the time, did you not?
Yes, one store.
One store, and we wanted to sort of have a little sort of ongoing series over what's going to happen with this woman-owned business, one store, and see what happens. Well, Andrea Erker had one store. It was the only facial. How many stores do you have now?
We have 22.
22 stores! Holy mackerel. How many here in St. Louis?
8.
8. And then where else are you? You're all over the place.
We're in Nebraska, Texas, Illinois, Tennessee.
Fantastic.
All over.
Fantastic. And the world headquarters is right here in St. Louis.
Right in Brentwood.
It used to be right out of your living room, right?
Yes, correct. For many years.
The only facial. Now, the name, we think, says it all, but tell us, what is the only facial?
So the Only Facial is a service-based skincare business, and we're focused on one facial that removes all of the guesswork, all of the friction. You come in, you know exactly what you're going to spend, and you get everything to jumpstart cell turnover and deliver glowing, beautiful skin.
Okay, this place is called The Only Facial. How can I get a manicure at The Only Facial?
No, you cannot.
What about a pedicure?
No.
What about a massage?
No. Well, a facial massage.
Facial massage. So when you say The Only Facial, it's only facials.
Right, just the facial.
How much do I have to tip when I go to The Only Facial?
So you don't tip. The tip is included in the price.
You probably push a whole lot of products on me on the way out the door.
We don't. Everything's included. We don't sell any products, so we have just our facial.
Do I have to register for your TikTok account, or have to give you my email account?
No, we don't have any memberships.
No, just The Only Facial.
Just The Only Facial.
That's fantastic. Now, you also have, like, the training centers here in St. Louis, right? So
Right.
people come from all over the country to get trained here.
Yes, anybody that gets hired with us comes to St. Louis for 2 weeks and gets trained at our headquarters in Brentwood.
Yeah. Now, since you only do facials, it's the best facial in the world, right?
It is.
I mean, you guys have pride yourself on if you only have one facial, this is the facial.
Exactly. It's the greatest thing ever.
Talk about some of the things that makes this facial different and special.
Sure. So what we do is we incorporate everything you need to jumpstart cell turnover. We start with dermaplaning, which is removing like peach fuzz and buildup on your skin. And then we do microdermabrasion, which is a vacuum-assisted tool that helps break up dead skin cells. Then we do a light chemical peel, and all of those three work together to really exfoliate your skin. Then we do a lot of steps to nourish your skin and promote hydration, like a massage, a treatment mask, a serum. We use several devices like LED light, high frequency, and microcurrent. And in the end, you're glowing.
In the end, you're glowing. And only facial, only women, right?
No.
No.
Men can come too.
Men can come too?
Yes.
But only young men.
Everyone.
Old men.
Anyone with a face.
Anyone with a face. There you go. What about Carney? He's got two faces. What do you do? What do you do with him?
We would take care of his face.
You charge him double.
No, everybody pays the same.
All right, even two-faced John Carney. All right, good. Now you got a Mother's Day special coming up?
We do. So when you purchase a gift certificate for our facial, you get a complimentary gift box, and it makes a wonderful gift to give because
Right.
you get to give something and they get the experience.
Yeah. Okay. So how much is a gift box?
It's complimentary with the purchase of a gift certificate.
How much is a gift certificate?
$125.
Which is the price of one facial.
Correct.
Yeah. So in other words, you're giving a gift of a facial, but with that gift certificate, you get a box of goodies.
Exactly.
And this isn't just a box of goodies. This is a box of goodies.
Yes, there's.
You guys do it right.
Yes.
Okay, so Mother's Day, nudge, nudge, hint, hint, wink, wink. Moms like facials.
Yes.
Go take care of yourself, Mom.
Yes.
Whether it's for the husband or from the kids or from a neighbor or a friend, this is a great gift.
Yes, you can just stop in and it'll be so easy.
Okay, where do we go and get the gift certificate and the boxes?
So you can go online and order it, or you can go into any of our stores. We're located in University City, Clayton, De Pere, Creve Coeur, Frontenac, Sunset Hills, and the streets of St. Charles.
Oh, because early on when we were doing this, they would come to your house, or you would deliver them hand by hand. You were out at 3 o'clock in the morning handing out these boxes.
4 years ago, I was still hand delivering every single one.
Yeah. Okay. So now at least you've streamlined the process a little easier.
Yes.
So it's a $125 gift certificate. With that comes the box. You can go to any one of the locations. To find the one nearest you, go to the website, which is
TheOnlyFacial.com.
TheOnlyFacial.com. Find the one nearest you. $125. You get the gift certificate for the facial and then the gift box.
Exactly.
Do you have to say KTRS or anything? Do you have to mention KTRS?
No, but we would love it if you do.
All
Tell
right.
us how much you love McGraw.
There
Rose.
you go. All right, good. 22 stores.
22.
Holy mackerel. You're headed for what, world domination too?
We hope so,
Yeah,
yes.
there
That's
you
the
go.
plan.
It is a wonderful, wonderful story. A woman-owned business that got started out of your kitchen with one store on North and South.
Yes.
And Delmar on North and South, and you've built it into 22 and growing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know you've worked day and night, night and day, and worked your fingers to the bone, so it's really good to see all that hard work paying off. Congrats. TheOnlyFacial.com.
Yes.
TheOnlyFacial.com. $125 gift certificate. Women love it, and it's a great gift for Mother's Day.
Exactly.
Get it now. To find the Only Facial store near you, TheOnlyFacial.com. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
You got it. All right, it's 8:58 here. Let's check in with Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, there's an accident on 270 north before 44 with the stop and go back up to Gravois. 64 west is busy from Hampton to McCausland. 64 east bogs down around 170. And 170 south is crowded between Forest Park Parkway and 64. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, it's Josh, and I want to tell you about a dentist office, My Dentist Office, and their new location now open in Lake St. Louis Dentistry. Dr. Landgraf and the group of dentists have been my dentists my entire life. They've been my parents' dentists for their entire lives, and you don't keep generation after generation of clients unless you're really good at what you do. Now with 3 locations, Florissant, Creve Coeur, and the new one, Lake St. Louis Dentistry, half mile from 4064, and you can get an appointment today. Check out my dentist, LakeStLouisDentistry.com.
This is the Big 550, KTRS St. Louis, the station you have depended on for 3 decades. We are the talk of St. Louis.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Iran says it's reviewing the latest proposal to end the conflict with the U.S. Optimism sending oil prices lower today. Brent crude hovering below $100 a barrel. ABC's Tom Sufi-Burridge is in Tel Aviv and has details on the U.S. plan.
What's really important to emphasize right now is not a full-blown deal with nothing more to negotiate. What we're inching towards is this kind of interim agreement between Iran and the U.S. Multiple sources to ABC News now confirming that this one-page memorandum of understanding, that's the way it's being dubbed, is now on the table. It's being looked at. The Iranians are now considering a U.S. proposal around this.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio at the Vatican today. He held talks with Pope Leo. The meeting covering peace in the Middle East, and the State Department says underscored the strong relationship between the U.S. and the Holy See. The Trump administration and President Trump have criticized the first American pope for calls to end the war in Iran. In Israel, authorities have indicted a Jewish man from the occupied West Bank for kicking a nun near Jerusalem's Old City last week. That violent attack, the latest in incidents targeting Christians and religious symbols. Residents in southern Mississippi assessing the damage after severe storms tore through last night with at least one reported tornado. ABC's Faith Aboobi is on the ground.
Hundreds of buildings and homes ripped to shreds. Across Mississippi, many families reported being trapped in their homes. And here in Purvis, the damage stretching for about 2 miles, littered with downed trees and power lines.
At least 17 people were injured. Volatile storms continuing today, targeting parts of the South and the Mid-Atlantic. Efforts to contain that deadly hantavirus outbreak on a Dutch cruise ship continue. 3 people have died. A handful of others have been sickened and airlifted from the boat. The WHO says they're watching for others who could have been exposed. That cruise ship now sailing towards Spain's Canary Islands. You're listening to ABC News.
Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Dan Lang with Carter Pet Hospital, inviting you to join me every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 p.m. with the Animal Advice Show. We'll talk about everything regarding dogs, cats, and other domestic animals. We'll discuss nutrition, training, regular checkups, invite special guests, and, of course, answer your questions. Join us every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 p.m. for the Animal Advice Show on the Big 550 KTRS, the Animal Talk of St. Louis.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The final stretch of your career isn't about slowing down. It's about getting strategic. Those last 5 years before retirement can define your financial future, from maximizing contributions and paying off high-interest debt to mapping out health care and testing your post-retirement budget. This is your moment to take control. At Pioneer Wealth Management, we help you connect all the moving parts. Real peace of mind starts long before your final paycheck. Investment advisory services offered through Creative One Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Pioneer Wealth Management and Creative One Wealth are unaffiliated. Life insurance professional. Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal.
Mom, what do you always say?
There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer.
That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newstetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry and Big Bend, or learn more at WowDiamonds.com.
Your St. Louis Battlehawks match up on Friday, May 8th against the Columbus Aviators. Plus, the greatest show on turf will be honored at halftime with Dick Vermeil, Marshall Falk, Mike Jones, and more. That's Friday, May 8th. The Battlehawks and the greatest show on turf. Get your tickets now at UFLBattlehawks.com.
52 degrees at 9:04. St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer has a new plan for the Ram settlement money. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch reports that draft legislation shows $65 million would be used on the city's water system, streets, and sidewalks, and $55 million toward a package of downtown initiatives, including riverfront improvements, retail incentives, and the purchase of large vacant buildings. Both the Missouri and Illinois Departments of Agriculture are now accepting applications for the Specialty Crop Block Grant Program. More from KTRS's Steve Potter.
Grant money is available for individuals, nonprofits, community organizations, and colleges and universities to produce specialty crops, which include fruits, vegetables, tree nuts, honey, and nursery crops. The grant program is designed to expand markets on local and regional levels and promote education, research, marketing, and food safety strategies, while also expanding public access to fresh, healthy products. The deadline to apply in Missouri is May 28th and June 5th in Illinois. Application forms can be found on the Department of Agriculture websites of both states. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
McBride Homes is suing the city of O'Fallon. This is in response after the city council rejected final plans for a new subdivision. McBride's attorneys argue that if the final plan is consistent with the previously approved preliminary plan, then the city council lacks discretion to deny approval of the final plan. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. So push for all your floral needs. Push your order anytime at WKF.com. And now let's take a look at the markets brought to you by JBL Financial. You can tune into Straight Talk on Retirement on Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 right here on the Big 550. The Dow is down 49 points to 49,900. The S&P is down 4 points to 7,400. And the NASDAQ is up 53 points to 25,900. In KTRS Sports, the Cardinals suffered their first loss in the division with Wednesday's defeat against Milwaukee. Attention now shifts back to the road as the Redbirds begin a 4-game series in San Diego tonight. And the Blues should have some more spending room this offseason as the NHL prepares to increase the salary cap by $8.5 million up to $104 million. The salary floor, meanwhile, will increase to $76.9 million. In KTRS Time Saver Traffic, let's go to the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center for a look at the roads where we find Captain Paul Kopsky standing by.
Rose, an accident on 270 north before 44 has just been cleared, and we are accident-free. 170 south is crowded between Forest Park Parkway and 64, and one lane of Manchester is closed westbound between Kings Highway and McCausland until 7 o'clock this evening for road work. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. In KTRS weather, sunny today with a high of 67, partly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 50, and tomorrow rain likely with a high of 70. Currently 52 degrees at 9:07. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
To show our appreciation for everything military service members do for our country, Auto House BMW offers up to $5,000 toward a new BMW purchase for veterans, active military, military families, and first responders. During the Power the Mission sales event, everyone enjoys rates starting at 1.99% APR, great lease and purchase credits, and we'll donate $50 for every purchase to Team Red, White, and Blue, an organization supporting veterans. We're proud to be part of this mission and hope you'll join us at Auto House BMW.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, DRURYlaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
Stan Musial, he missed a season in his prime to serve his country in the Navy.
Honor a legend on Saturday, May 16th when the Cardinals face the Kansas City Royals. Fans can secure a Stan Musial military bobblehead presented by Coca-Cola and Deerbirds. This patriotic collectible celebrates Stan's Hall of Fame career and his service to our country. A true symbol of character on and off the field. A tribute worth displaying and remembering. Don't miss it. Get tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
Some Sundays are made for the water. Sunday, May 17th, as the Cardinals take on the Kansas City Royals, make it a ballpark day too. That day, you can score a Cardinals boat tote presented by Coca-Cola and Walmart. A classic summer bag that fits right in from the dock to the dugout. It's ready for long weekends, sunny afternoons, and whatever plans you have next. Get tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
Hey, Anne-Marie here, host of the Inside Out Show and owner of Anne-Marie Design Studio for Black Fox Cooper, St. Louis's premier Andersen certified contractor. That means every window they install meets Andersen's exacting quality standards, and the installation is guaranteed for 2 years, in addition to the 20-year warranty on the glass. In many cases, Mark and his team at Black Fox Cooper can upgrade your existing Andersen windows with installation materials possessing the latest technology in energy efficiency and at a cost far less than replacing all of your windows.
Call 314-270-1484 or online at blackboxcooper.com.
Experience the luminous artistry of pianist Isata Kenna Mason in recital in her St. Louis debut. From the timeless glow of Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata to the shimmering brilliance of Ravel's Gaspard de la Nuit and the radiant colors of Dobrinka Tabakova's Nocturne and Halo, Kenna Mason's playing moves effortlessly from moody introspection to sparkling virtuosity. Thursday, May 14th at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis. This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
$9:12 here, Big 550 KTRS from the Country Club Car Wash text line. You gave me one as a gift, McGraw. Now I gift others with facials, and they love it. A great service, and the gift box is wonderful. The nanny. The nanny now texting. How come she didn't text me directly? Why'd she text the Country Club Car Wash text line? Oh, maybe she's fishing for a free Country Club car wash.
Oh, smart of her.
Interesting.
Nanny's smart.
Nanny is very smart. What does it say about Frank that if the world was going to end today, that he wouldn't have nothing to do with his wife? He was joking. It's called a joke. 636, my theory on the city money, leaders have it in their basement somewhere, and they're doing a Scrooge McDuck slide into it. 314, here's your text of the day right here.
Hold
on. Country Club Car Wash text of the day. You receive a free Country Club Car Wash. Give Antonio French his own show. I love the segment. I should say Antonio French gets a lot of love on the show.
Whenever we do a replay on Tuesdays and Thursdays at night at 11:30,
yes,
Antonio is 99% always in it.
Yeah, he's well respected. People really like that segment. That's a really good segment. Good old city of St. Louis. For some heads should roll over this, and some firings should come immediately. It's called being proactive, not reactive. City of St. Louis has never seemed to understand that. I think he's talking about the water. Look, you can't have it both ways. You can't complain about the sewer bills going up. And then if the sewer bills don't go up, you can't complain when they say, oh, we need maintenance. right? The water bills haven't gone up for a reason, because people complain about their utility bills. Well, the water needs to be fixed. There's certain things that need to happen in the house, right? Your property taxes keep going up, but you defer the maintenance on the house, right? I mean, it's something's got to give. And the city of St. Louis has been losing population. The water system was built for 1 million people. Now there's 300,000 people, 250,000, whatever it is, 280,000 people. And they need to fix the water system. Money's got to come from somewhere, because it's more important that St. Louis County have their own water system, and St. Louis City have their own water system, and Jennings have their own water system, and Arnold having their own water system.
But St. Louis City was tops in the nation for one time.
Here's you want to solve the problem in the city of St. Louis?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you want me to pour gasoline on this fire? Here you go. You live in the city, right?
I do.
Okay.
St. Louis Hills.
You're billed based on not how much water you use.
No.
You're billed on like how many bathrooms you have, or your square footage or something.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And a lot of those are wrong.
Okay, so if you have a leak in your kitchen, or you have a toilet that runs, you're less apt to fix it, because what do I care? I'm not being charged any extra money.
That is true.
But if you are being charged by the water or by the gallon, and your faucet leaks, by golly, you're going to spend $10, go to Schnarr's Hardware, get the new 10-cent piece to fix it, to stop the leak, so you can save money on your water bill. Right? They have these things that 1 for solids, 1 for liquids, 2 for solids, right? When you can flush your toilet, saving you money. What's the incentive of somebody in St. Louis to put that system on your toilet? Because they make retroactive, right? You can have a toilet and you can make it retroactive, where you can put that in there. 1 for solid, or 1 for solid, 2 for waste, right? You hit one button for liquid, another button for solid, and right, you use less for the liquid, you use more for the solid, without getting too graphic, and you save yourself some money. Or let's put a low-flow toilet in there, which is much more energy efficient. You don't have, and it's much better. Don't give me this grief that low-flow toilets aren't great. They're tremendous, and they save a bunch of water. So the city of St. Louis, for 200 years, right, 100 years, hasn't done anything to incentivize its residents to conserve water. So you get high-flow toilets, you get dripping faucets, you water your yard to ridiculous amounts. You don't save anything off the gutters or anything else to water the plants and the tomatoes and whatever else. And then you don't increase your water bill for 50 years. Guess what? You're going to have yourself a water problem. So now you're going to use the Rams money, as Kara Spencer says. They got to fix the water system. And she's going to take $50 million of the Rams money and try and fix the water system. You got to pay the piper sometime. Do I wish they weren't going to use the Rams money for the water system? Yeah, kind of a bummer. It's kind of like spending your money on insulation. You don't want to do it. It's not fun. It's not sexy. But you need insulation, or your energy bills are going to go through the roof. You'd much rather spend it on a brand new kitchen, or a brand new, a new bathroom, or a new this or new that. But no, I gotta fix the insulation. So anyway, 314-931-5877. 314-931-5877. Text your pithy and interesting comments to 84126. So the Rams money, she's starting to decide the best way to figure out how to spend the Rams money. There's another story in the Business Journal yesterday that I sent to Carl, which is really kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. So there is a gentleman who is going to put his money where his mouth is. His name is Chris Breakwell. He's a former wealth manager turned entrepreneur. And what he is doing, he is going to spend millions of dollars, $62 million to be exact. Stories in the St. Louis Business Journal. Breakwell, a former St. Louis wealth manager turned entrepreneur, is in the process of developing vacant sites in Wood River to create Hollywood River Studios, a $62 million film and television production complex he believes will position the St. Louis region as a new destination for Hollywood projects, betting on a newly built soundstage and Illinois' increasingly aggressive state film tax credits to draw interest from filmmakers. J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, has signed some tax credit legislation that does not cap tax credits for film productions. So whereas, right, only you'll get tax credits for the first $10 million. Well, no, they're uncapped in the state of Illinois. So it's an incentive for film productions to film in Illinois. And he's creating this film production studio in Wood River, Illinois. So there you go. It's they call it Envirotech Business Park. They opened it up 30 years ago as some type of attractive business park. Well, it sat vacant for 30 years, and now this Chris Breakwell is going to build this Hollywood River Studios. It's kind of an interesting story.
Got to call into him now.
Right, really interesting story. Hope he doesn't put a data center in there. Because that would, we don't want a data center. I don't know. Is that acceptable? A Hollywood studio? Is that acceptable or no? Or does somebody have a problem with that?
Can't have George Clooney coming to St. Louis again.
Yeah, I have my issues with George Clooney.
I know you do.
So I don't know. Is a Hollywood studio in Wood River acceptable for you people or not? 314-931-5877. Text your comments to 84126. Charlie, good morning. You're on the Big 550 KTRS.
Good morning, and thank you. My comment is just a little old piece of history.
Okay.
Well, about baseball.
Okay.
Totally different subject.
All right.
You talked about George Hendrick earlier, and the last couple of days you talked about him. When Kenny Boyer was the manager of the Cardinals, because of the way of Hendrick's physique, kind of a lot bigger on top than on the bottom, Kenny Boyer named George Hendrick Razor Butt. That's what he called him, Razor Butt. I said, somebody out there want to refute that, let him, but that's a fact. How do you like that?
I did not know that he was called Razor Backside. I didn't know that. That's interesting little trivia. Yeah.
Oh, you can't say the word butt? Oh, okay. Well, whatever. I just thought I'd throw that in there for the crowd this morning. That's it.
Hold on a second. Charlie, did they, because of his broad shoulders and his skinny waist, is that where that came from?
That's exactly it.
Gotcha.
That's exactly it. The man was built had a hell of an arm.
Yeah.
Or heck of an arm. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
But let's throw some baseball stuff in from an old timer.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, Charlie. Have yourself a good day.
Thank you.
You got it. All right, there you go. The George Hendrick story that I've been told that I think is one of the greatest stories of all time. So Bruce Sutter strikes out, was it Gorman Thomas to win the 1982 World Series?
Game 7.
Game 7.
1982.
And jumps in the arms of Darryl Porter, and the Cardinals win the World Series. George Hendrick is playing right field in Busch Stadium at the time, the then Busch Stadium. And the game's over, season's over, World Series is over. Cardinals win the World Series. According to lore, George Hendrick, instead of sprinting to the mound where the team celebrates the World Series championship, turns around, the security guard opens the gate, he gets into his car, and drives home. In his uniform. Still in his uniform. The season was over. They just won the World Series. They win, and his first reaction is, now I get to go home. Turns around, goes out the outfield gate. His car is waiting there, gets in his car, and drives home. Season's over with. Now that is a strange man. Who was it? Was it Randy? Or was it Frank told us that George Hendrick could talk up a storm? George Hendrick could talk up a storm about anything, except he didn't want to talk baseball. You ask him about baseball, he didn't want to talk to you. You want to talk to him about anything else under the sun, the man was all ears.
But not on camera.
Is that right? He just didn't want to.
They called him Silent George.
Yeah.
Because he would not give interviews to the media. He did not like talking to the media. But if you had him
yeah, just talking to him and
yeah, he wouldn't shut up.
Yeah. People are so fascinating. People are just so interesting. What was the story I was reading the other day where people are so nice? Oh, it was that Johnny Appleseed story. Last night on the nighttime show, we had this guy on who the book is called American Rambler, and he retraced the steps of Johnny Appleseed. And he tells the tale of these people he would walk into a town spreading apple seeds, and he would get to know the people after walking through this town every 6 months or so, and he became friendly with them, and they would open it, I'll leave the porch light on for you. And so they would build these little shacks for Johnny Appleseed to stay when he was in town, because he liked to stay outside. Also because he stunk, apparently. They didn't want him in the house, but they were trying to be nice to him. So they built these shacks. Now, I heard this story recently about a St. Louisan, and I'm going to try and tell this story without giving you who it is or what happened or where, but there was a town here in St. Louis, and the town had a citizen that was a bit developmentally disabled. And his parents had died, and he had no living relatives, and he was, had a hard time getting along. And so the town kind of adopted him, and the town went in and, did his laundry for him and, sort of made sure he was okay, checked on him and did his laundry and things like that. Well, the man recently passed away, and they were sort of talking about this nice man who was had some mental health issues and developmentally disabled and whatever else. But the town had sort of, and I thought to myself that these are the nicest people in the world. I don't know if I would be that nice or that, I don't know. It's just so endearing that these neighbors, they didn't ask him if he voted for Bush. They didn't ask him if he voted for Biden. They didn't care if he was a Trump fan or not. They just saw a friendly neighbor who needed some help, and part of their routine was helping out their fellow man. And it was just a very sweet story. And, we are nice people. We just don't like to tell people we're nice people. We like to badmouth everybody and think the worst of everybody, but when push comes to shove, we're actually very nice people, and we're very nice to strangers. We just don't like to tell anybody we're nice to strangers. So anyway. All right, 927 here. 314-931-5877. 314-931-5877. Text your comments to 84126. From the 314, I heard that same story about George years ago. Yeah, that's a pretty famous story. 636, what about a RAM memory chip factory in Ferguson? No. What about the hum? What about the water? The electricity? Nope. Can't have any electricity in the company. That's going to raise my energy bills. 314, Charlie stinks. Why don't you like Charlie? Did I say 83? I meant 82. Did I say 83? I thought I said 82.
I thought you said 82.
I thought I did too. All right, Piccadilly at Manhattan. Oldest restaurant in St. Louis. And they've been the Piccadilly at Manhattan now for a number of years. Where is it? Well, the name says it all. It's on the corner of Piccadilly and Manhattan, hence the name Piccadilly at Manhattan. I actually think it's a brilliant name for a restaurant. All the things they could have named it, they named it Piccadilly at Manhattan. That's the name of the place, and that's the address. What greater place? Where's Piccadilly at Manhattan? It's on the corner of Piccadilly and Manhattan. It's the Piccadilly at Manhattan. Great food, great atmosphere. Food's wonderful. Staff is wonderful. The atmosphere is wonderful. The decor is fantastic. Back patio's great. On cold days And rainy days, they've got the awnings so you can enjoy a nice, warm, covered lunch or dinner while it's raining outside. I've always liked that feel, right, where you're protected underneath, but it's raining on the outside. I've always liked that. Piccadilly at Manhattan. Great food, great atmosphere. Don't forget about the catering, oldest restaurant in St. Louis. Grab a friend and head over to Piccadilly or thepiccadilly.com. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, not much happening on the roads right now. No accidents or slow traffic. A couple of construction notes. 370 East is congested from 94 to St. Louis Mills with the roadway reduced to 2 lanes at the Discovery Bridge. And 1 lane of Manchester is closed westbound between Kings Highway and McCausland until 7 o'clock this evening for road work. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rockwood School District. Are you looking for a new part-time or full-time job opportunity? Consider Rockwood School District with openings for custodians, cafeteria workers, and groundskeepers with great benefits, competitive pay, and flexible hours. Apply online at rsdmo.org/jobs. That's rsdmo.org/jobs. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
You're selling your home, and I want to buy it. This is Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I am ready to pay top dollar for your home. No contingencies, no inspections, no monkey business. I buy your home no matter the condition or location, and you walk away with cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867, 314-283-0867, or at robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. You know how spring works in St. Louis. One week you're running the furnace, the next week you're flipping on the air conditioner. It's weather whiplash, and your HVAC system feels it too. That's why spring is the perfect time to have the experts at Premier Heating and Cooling check things out. Their technicians go through 5 years of training well beyond industry standards. So when they perform a tune-up, they're making sure your system is running safely, efficiently, and ready for whatever the next St. Louis weather swing brings. If your furnace or air conditioner is older or starting to struggle, Premier can help with that too. They offer financing options that make replacing your system far more manageable, and a new unit can mean better comfort and lower energy bills all year long. So whether it's a quick tune-up or time for an upgrade, call the team that knows how to handle St. Louis weather. 636-916-1122, premierheatingcooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
I'm Mark Cantor. Here's why you can count on Cantor Injury Law.
My name is Michelle. I'm a litigation paralegal at Cantor Injury Law, and you can count on Cantor because we are smart, honest, and hardworking.
I'm Kevin Glenn, and a partner here at Cantor Injury Law. You can count on Cantor because we make your cause our cause.
No fee if no recovery. Please visit CantorInjuryLaw.com or call us at 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
At Midland, we know sometimes all it takes is a moment for an idea to spark, or to make it happen, a moment to find your dream, or build one, a moment to start your forever, or at least start planning for it. Whatever moments you have, Midland is here for them and can help you make them. Midland, brighter together. Visit us at midlandsb.com. Midland States Bank is member FDIC.
Inland Marine Boats in Barnard has been serving your boating needs for 40 years. Hi, I'm Jim, and this is my son, Ryan.
Remember, you only get 18 summers with your kids. Make the most of them with a boat from Inland Marine Boats, your Mercury Marine dealer.
Looking for a new kitchen or bath? Call me, Anne-Marie Bogus, the co-host of the Inside Out Show and owner and designer at Anne-Marie Design Studio. Visit our website at annemariestudio.com. We can help make your dream space into a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. We do it all, from design to bid to installation too. Call us today at 636-821-3395 or go online at annemariestudio.com. Let's make your dream kitchen or bath a reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
When you pay for tree work, you want to be sure you're getting the most for your hard-earned money. That's why you should always use the ISA certified arborist at River City Tree Service in Baldwin, Missouri. Hi, I'm Steve with River City Tree Service, and we've been the go-to tree service since 2008. Tree removal, tree trimming, storm damage, deadwood removal, stump grinding, and more. Give River City Tree Service a call for all your tree service needs at 314-270-8071. That's 314-270-8071. River City Tree Service.
Your St. Louis Battlehawks match up on Friday, May 8th against the Columbus Aviators. Plus, the greatest show on turf will be honored at halftime with Dick Vermeil, Marshall Falk, Mike Jones, and more. That's Friday, May 8th. The Battlehawks and the greatest show on turf. Get your tickets now at UFLBattlehawks.com.
Now, back to McGraw. Presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
$9:35 here at Big 550 KTRS. We talked about this earlier, but Jefferson City, I get yelled at for talking about these gambling machines all the time. However, the Jefferson City has now put the kibosh on legalizing these machines. So to recap, right, you had these machines, and they were called legal, even though we all knew they were illegal. And so they kept going, and they became more prevalent and more prevalent. And then finally, Catherine Hanaway comes along, and right, the long arm of the law comes in and says, not on my watch. And she says, take them down. So they start to unplug them because they are deemed illegal. Now, there was a court case, a federal case, that said, look, these are clearly not legal. They're breaking the law. So they started to take them down. Well, the only way to make them legal was through legislation. So they were trying to make them legal in Missouri down by Jefferson City. And yesterday, it passed the House, narrowly passed the House. And yesterday in Jefferson City, I'm trying to pull up the story here, they unanimously voted it down. So it's dead in the Senate. It ain't going to pass. And so both Republicans and Democrats sat on this committee who voted it down unanimously and said, look, we've got too much gambling going on. It's not a good idea. Look at all the young men who are gambling on sports on their phone. Remember, the sports gambling only passed by a couple of hundred votes. It was razor thin. And I said it at the time, it might pass, but it's going to be a lot closer than people think. And it really only passed by a couple hundred votes. There's a lot of people who are worried about expanding gambling in the state. But if you want to expand gambling in the state, you're going to have to get your elected officials to vote for it in Jefferson City, or somebody's going to have to put it on the ballot and convince St. Louisans or Missourians to vote for it. But there's another interesting aspect to all of this that I don't think people is really paying attention to. Again, it's all going to come back to this state referendum to do away with the income tax. If you do away with the income tax, you got to find taxes somewhere else. Maybe, just maybe, the argument is that might carry the day. Look, we do away with the income tax, so our 4.7% that we're charged on our income goes away, but they need to figure out new ways to tax us to make up the difference. What if we were to put gambling machines in all the gas stations and all the bars and all the restaurants and tax it? Could that make up at least some of the $9 billion right? Some estimates are saying they could make up to $300 million. Now, $300 million is not $9 billion, but it's something. I mean, they're looking for nickels and dimes to piece together something to get rid of this income tax thing. So you got to figure if somebody somewhere along the line starts to promote, hey, do away with the income tax and we'll legalize slot machines in the state, and therefore we will generate a lot more money, and it's free money. If you don't gamble, you're not being taxed, so don't worry about it. Interesting. 940 here, Big 550 KTRS from the Country Club Car Wash text line. I can't understand why their city of St. Louis doesn't charge for water based on the water, since they basically have an unlimited supply. I will tell you why they don't. It costs money to meter each individual home, and they don't have the resources to do it. You need to meter it, and they don't meter, because we got to cost money to put the meter in. Then you have 4 houses or an apartment complex with 4 units or 6 units or 8 units, right? It's not metered. You have to put in 4 different meters in there for somebody to pay the water bill. So it's based on something else. Again, getting back to the fact that if there's a disincentive to save water, as the old saying goes, no one ever cleans a rented car. No one ever puts a rented car through a car wash before you bring it back to the rental place. And the only reason why you fill it up is because they'll charge you more money to fill it up at the rental place. That's why you fill it up before you get to the rental place. You incentivize people to save water. You don't just demand that they put in low-flow toilets. You incentivize them. And quite frankly, this is a bone of contention I've had for a long time, these low-flow toilets. I think low-flow toilets are fantastic.
Do you have one?
I have one. Yes, I do. The engineering technology inside a low-flow toilet, maybe when they first came out, you had to flush 2 or 3 times, and so therefore it wasn't saving you a whole lot of money. But if you live in a world where you have a low-flow toilet, and then you go visit someone's house who has a high-flow toilet, the old ones, you cannot believe how much water is being wasted in a high-flow toilet.
Yeah.
And I would argue that the low-flow toilet is significantly better than the high-flow toilet. The high-flow toilet, you are constantly getting things stuck and having a plunger and toilet paper and whatever else. It constantly gets stuck. Whereas with a low-flow toilet, don't get me wrong, you still need a plunger from time to time, but nowhere near as often. And the bowl gets cleaner, and the thing doesn't get stuck as often. I'm telling you, man, a low-flow toilet is a fantastic invention, and it saves you all sorts of money, all sorts of money on your water bill. Look, I live in Weldon Spring, and some water bills, I am very conscientious when I turn on my sprinklers, when I have a leak in the faucet, when I have a running toilet, all of those things, because, hey, that water bill can add up, and it can get pretty expensive. So I certainly want to conserve water when I want to conserve water. I yell at Emerson. Emerson, 2 minutes. When I was in, we were kids, Grandma, right? We had all those kids in one bathroom. Grandma would knock on the door. Make it a quickie. Make it a quickie. I'm like, Grandma, I don't think that's the right terminology you want to use. Make it a quickie. It was that and my grandfather's galoshes. Dick, I put your rubbers by the side door here. And be like, okay. And then Grandpa would then somehow get ready to go outside in the rain. Margie, where'd you put my rubbers? Where'd you put? And the kids would be howling. We couldn't breathe. We were laughing so hard. Grandma and Grandpa were talking about their rubbers and had no idea what they were talking about. So there you go. Text line, I agree. Low flow saves water. Low flow toilet is the only way to go. I agree. Great. Now that gambling machines are coming to an end, I guess you're on toilets for the next year. Yeah, I'll be on the toilet bandwagon. Yeah, I'll demand low-flow toilets for everybody.
Sure.
I'm a fan.
We'll talk next time we talk to the governor.
I'm a fan of low-flow toilets. Well, they already have. They already have done it. They've already implemented. Every new construction's got to have low-flow toilets. But watch an episode of Ask This Old House when they go to a toilet factory, and Richard Chathrui explains to you the anatomy of a toilet. It's quite fascinating. I mean, it's all based on science. I'll shut up.
Well, that means we can't believe it.
I'll shut up. Hey, let's talk about stages, because we're going to talk about stages, and you need to get this on your calendar, because put down the phone, turn off the TV, and go spend a night with the family. And a great way to do that, you can always look forward to this, a night out with live theater. And Stages has been doing this for a long time. Stages in downtown Kirkwood. It's a beautiful, beautiful theater, modern, wide, comfortable rows, nice, comfortable seats. There's not a bad seat in the house. This year, they're putting on 3 wonderful musicals. The first one is called, quote, the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. It is a rip-roaring, hilarious good time. Then they finish up where they have Guys and Dolls, the classic 40s timeless classic, Guys and Dolls. And they finish up with, I know it's hard to believe, but a feel-good musical about 9/11. I know. What? Yeah, no, it's a feel-good musical about 9/11. It's called Come From Away. I saw it, and I just have been every time I see it, you bawl your eyes out, because it is such a wonderful story about humanity and people helping people. And it's the story of when the planes were told to land after 9/11, they had to find the nearest runway and the nearest airport. Well, the planes coming from Europe landed in Gander, Newfoundland, because that was the closest airport to land. So you had all these planes land in Gander, Newfoundland, a very small town, and they were there for these strangers who landed, who fell out of the sky, who had to be there for a number of days. And they had to worry about eating and clothing and bathrooms and baby diapers and everything else. And Come From Away is the true story of the people of Gander, Newfoundland, and how they rallied to help these people who had come from away. It is a wonderful, heartbreakingly beautiful story. Stages is putting it on. Do yourself a favor. Grab a friend who hates musicals. Grab a friend who says, I hate musicals, because all they do is sing. Doesn't make any sense. Force those people to go to Stages and go have them see Come From Away. And then if they don't like it, they don't have a heart and they don't have a soul. That's how beautiful Come From Away is. Stages, stlewis.com. Stages, stlewis.org. They've got individual tickets. They got group tickets. They got season tickets. They got individual tickets. Stages, stlewis.org.
How would you like your vehicle serviced at your own home or office? Our new Mobile Service Plus, available exclusively from St. Paul Cadillac, can do just that. Hi, this is Joe Clemens. Simply give us a call or go to our website and get a unit dispatched right to your doorstep. This is a game changer for customer service, and we are so happy to offer it to you. Everything from oil changes, belts, new tires, tire rotation, recalls, key fobs, brake pads and rotors, EV charge, battery replacement, air conditioning service, and so much more. St. Paul's Mobile Service Plus will come to you. Call our mobile dispatch at 636-931-0055. That's 636-931-0055. Or go to our website at stpaulcadillac.com and set up an appointment. It's that simple. Get door-to-door service with St. Paul's new Mobile Service Plus. Nothing could be easier. Set up your appointment today. That's Mobile Service Plus, exclusively from St. Paul Cadillac at the Herculaneum Auto Mall exit.
From planning to planting, growing to harvesting, FS is with you every step of the way. Our team has the latest seed genetics, field-tested hybrids, proven chemistries, plant performance products, and premium fuels and lubricants to help you maximize yield and minimize downtime. Whatever you need, whenever you need it, FS is your trusted business partner. Visit fscooperatives.com to learn how we can support your farming operation from start to finish.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
When you're injured, everything changes. The stress, the bills, the uncertainty. One call changes it all. Underlaw.
They step in, they take on the fight, and they don't back down, you can count on Onderlaw. Onder wins.
At Onderlaw, they've recovered over $5 billion for their clients. No surprises, no hidden fees, just results.
Online at onderlaw.com. Onder wins. It's that time of year. The kids are home. It's time for spring flowers, fresh mowed lawns, summer sports, and the ongoing question,
Mom, what's for dinner?
why not let Gingham's Restaurant handle that for you? Whether it's a great breakfast, lunch while you're out, a hearty home-style dinner, or a late-night snack, Gingham's is open 24 hours a day. And don't forget dessert. Start the summer off right with Gingham's Restaurant in St. Charles. 636-946-0266 or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Drury Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Drury Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Bong. Bong. $9:51 here at Big 550 KTRS. So tonight is the big KTRS Gala as we celebrate 30 years of KTRS. And Carl, you can help me out with this. I was thinking about all the people who have been here in the last 30 years. Now, I came here in 2004, end of 2004. So I've been here a good 22 years. Is that possible?
Yeah.
So I wasn't here for the first 8 years. But in the 30 years we've been here, there have been a lot of famous people, and a lot of people have gone on to do great things. So I was just trying to remember some of them.
You start with Bill and Wendy.
Okay, well, Bill and Wendy were great, came over here and continued on, right. Great. But and we know, right, everybody here is, but I'm thinking about people who were here, got started here, and then left to do other things. Bill Cleveland?
Bill Cleveland started here.
Bill Cleveland started here. He's now on that nationally syndicated wonderful show called America at Night on Thursdays.
His successful book series.
His book series, Bill Cleveland's one. Mitch McCoy was here. He is now the spokesperson for the St. Louis City Police Department. You have Craig Schwab was here, was an intern. He at one point was the program director for ABC Radio in New York and for WABC in New York. Now he's a honcho, I want to say, with Odyssey or something, but there's a guy who started here. Craig Unger started here. Now he's the general manager of the Memphis Redbirds. You had George Norrie started here, who's now one of the biggest syndicated shows in America. You had Ed Martin, who started here, who is now Donald Trump's patent attorney. I mean, that's a pretty good list of people in 30 years who have come and gotten their start here at KTRS and then have gone on to all different and better things. As a matter of fact, even the guy, Scott Linehan.
Oh, the football coach?
No. Scott Linehan, he was the guy who, it's actually a wonderful story. I think I'm butchering his name. It was Scott Linehan, but it was the Linehan who was here when they fired everybody. He was the one who had that mishap, the misspeak on the air when he made an offhanded mistake comment about Condoleezza Rice and was fired shortly thereafter. And it was such a big deal that Tim Russert, the following Sunday on Meet the Press, had Condoleezza Rice on the show and asked him about it. It was a very, very embarrassing moment. Dave Linehan. Dave Linehan went on to become a very successful, I don't want to say motivational speaker, but a very successful, after that incident happened, I believe like the NAACP reached out to him and he made friends with them. He said, this is not who I am. I made a mistake. And he partnered up with the NAACP and he went on to do this wonderful, wonderful project of like race relations. And I don't have the full story, but I heard about it a couple years ago and somebody said to me I should get him on. And I should, because it's an unbelievable story.
Did he run for office too?
He might have ran for office, but I think he now lives in New York. Or somewhere not here in St. Louis, but went on to do, turn that negative into a positive and went on to do all sorts of great things. So, I mean, you just sort of start to think about all the people that got their start here. Dan McLaughlin got his start here at the Big 550 KTRS, right? He was one of the sports guys originally, went on to become the voice of the St. Louis Cardinals for 20-some-odd years. So, I mean, it's an interesting, you don't have to look very far to find people who were once here and went on to do great things. So they all got their start here. Some of us have stayed, some of us have gone on. But it's really a testament to 30 years here in St. Louis of people who have come, got their feet wet in the media world, sort of got their legs under them, left for whatever reason, right? Other opportunities, but to do some great things in similar fields and different fields and everything else. But they all have KTRS somewhere in their background. It's pretty neat to see when you start looking at the history of 30 years. Not to mention, all the Julie Bucks and the Carneys and the Heidi Glouses and the Frank Cusamanos and Randy Carrickers and Kelly Jacksons and we've got Martin Kilcoynes. I mean, we've had quite a number of people come through here, so it's pretty special. From the Country Club Car Wash text line, your evening show be on tonight if you're going to the 30-year gala. I am taking the night off. I will not be on the evening show tonight. So there you go. Here's another one. I know why you're so much in favor of these data centers, because the Show Me Institute is one of your largest advertisers, and they stand to make a lot of money off of the billionaires. AI will destroy us. Show Me Institute is not one of our largest advertisers. I think you could argue that they're probably one of our smallest advertisers.
They advertise?
I think they have that like Show Me Minute on here.
Yeah.
Every once in a while. Yeah. Look, I find it quite offensive that you think I'm getting. I really don't believe what I believe. You can say I'm an idiot and that my thought process on data centers are wrong. Okay? But don't call me corrupt. I come by this opinion naturally, okay? I'm naturally stupid. I'm not devious. I'm not a politician that knows it's bad, but yet is shilling for something that I know is terrible just to get reelected. If I wanted to do the easy thing is to be against data centers because everyone's against data centers. Ride the wave, baby. Don't tell you what I think. Tell you what you want to hear. You get enough of that around here. I don't want to be that talk show host. I tell you what I think. You agree, you disagree, we shake hands, we go our separate ways. But you can call me an idiot. Just don't call me corrupt. I have one more moment to tell you about Miller Furniture. Mueller, MillerFurniture.com. A family-run business for 99 years. They have a little sale going on. They always have a little sale going on right now. Listen to this. You can, it's a sales tax. You can get the sales tax off in custom, or I should say in-stock furniture. You get sales tax, so you don't pay any sales tax on in-stock furniture. That's a pretty good deal. That could save you 8, 9, 10%. 60 months free financing. They got 4 locations, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, Ellisville on Manchester Road, and in Belleville. 4 area locations, 1 great family. Always got great sale prices, great American-made furniture, whether it's a Stickley, Smith Brothers of Bern, Amish furniture, everything that's in stock, no sales tax. Mueller, Miller Furniture or MillerFurniture.com. Frank comes your way next. We're again. Thanks for putting up with me. We'll see you tomorrow.
Mizzou football.
It's a rushing touchdown, and Missouri extends the lead.
KTRS AM, FM 106.